Welcome to ICL on a Wednesday. Not a Tuesday like I thought yesterday was a Wednesday, if that makes sense. One of these days, it's the right day. Is today that day? We shall see, as it is ETB enter the battlefield, rank number 1, 9-1, almost undefeated, best team in the ICL, two-time season winners, up against locked in place, ranked number 8, Sunflower Illumineers. Win or lose, both teams are making it into the top cut, but they're playing for pride, they're playing for placements, and they're playing for fun. And we only have a few seconds, but let's try to guess who our other two casters are before we jump into the game. You can talk
Hello,
now.
I'm back again for, I don't know, I guess I took a week off and now I'm back after a couple casting sessions.
Something like that.
Hello, Mr. Vanderland. I'd like to play a game with you. Can you guess the caster voice? I don't know if you can.
Well, TJ Parker thinks you're color JDZ, himself and Franz mixed into one. Is he right? It's been so quiet today. I don't know if they're talking about us or just the day in general. Probably the day. But maybe we can show them who we are here in a few seconds.
They said they were scared. Courtney and someone? Someone?
Ooh,
One
could it
person was
be?
right.
We've got the one, the only Courtney Enchanted Chatter and Rudy Root Rose.
Woohoo! Aha! I think I fooled someone.
You think you
I
fooled
love
some?
that.
Perfect. Perfection. And they are probably already waiting on us because I take far too long. So we're going to pop over there and I'll fix the screens. Who do you think's going to win? Get your bets in now.
Fine question. Oh man! Oh, we already got a.
Oh, we're live.
We got a
We're
hamster
live
on the
and ready
field
to
already.
go.
Why can't I think of the hamster's name? Rhino. That's it. I was like, it's another animal. I know that much.
And a Palace Guard.
So Sunflower Illumineers are on our right side. Bro Hamilton, Elias. I don't know how to say his last name. Abdul Ahad. And we got the old Rhino shift line. We're gonna sing a cood. So we will draw a card. Next character is reduced by 2 this turn, which means we get a free troubadour, which makes me think, yeah, this is some Steel Song shenanigans.
This is definitely some Steel Songs shenanigans, and that is a great way to start some Steel Songs shenanigans.
Yeah, this Palace Guard obviously not going to threaten the hamster very much. We ink a second one. Okay, so we have Amethyst Steel on the other side. Black Heron, again, can't really contest the hamster. It can break through the resist barrier, but even the Palace Guard wouldn't be enough to follow up with that. So I will be surprised if this Rhino goes anywhere soon.
Yeah, this is getting that Rhino out early is a wonderful way to start. Obviously, that Heron is helpful in combating the other side, but not gonna get there anytime soon.
Very thematically, Nani finds her little sister Lilo. If you don't know, Nani enchanters the field. Check the top 4 cards of your deck, and you may add a character of cost 2 or less to your hand. Does find her little one Lilo. The hamster is going to go ahead and go on a quest. Rhino will quest for 2 lore. Troubadour is, well, yeah, Troubadour is safe, right? Because you can't run the Palace Guard into it. It'll do no damage. You could run Black Heron into it, but it'll survive with the resist +1. So it goes on a safe quest with the Troubadour as well. I don't know if our lore counter is accurate to theirs, but I believe we're at 3 lore. I think that was the first quest. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Lexington goes into the inkwell for Bro Hamilton. The ever mischievous Cheshire Cat comes out and says, well, you know, that resist keyword you have, mighty impressive, unless I were to play a game with it and move some damage around, and then we'd get right around it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, this is absolutely what Bro Hamilton wants to find against this matchup now.
A second Nani comes out. Will we find a second Lilo? God, Nani, most people were pretty positive about this card when they saw it. It looks like we didn't find anything, because I believe you have to reveal it. So I think it might have been a rare whiff. Actually missed on the card. Nani is presuming singing. Yep, and there is, that looks like a strength of a raging fire. That cat is going to the discard by noon. Sorry, Courtney. I just had to throw that in there.
Hey,
What do
I
you say?
love the singing.
before it boosts this day or something.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I try to like think whatever lyrics I can come to my head in the middle of it. So if you've never seen one of these Steel Song decks, this is kind of what it looks like. Pretty akin to the old Steel Song, where a lot of the impactful characters you bring down are just going to get removed by any sort of strong removal. The Cobra comes down. I don't think we discarded for it. I don't see anything on top of the cat. Yeah, no Cobra trigger. Will be followed up with an Olaf. We have a good board presence, but without our own Strength of a Raging Fire, it's going to be a little tough breaking through these front lines. I see Luke prepping the Thunderbolt. As we have many singers, the Cobra itself cannot even get through the Rhino. We'll have to send multiple characters into the Rhino. Olaf can return a card to our hand. There's nothing we really want to return currently on the field. Ideally, you'd like to get a dock down and then bounce that back and recycle it.
Yeah, the other thing that I've seen with the Olaf is bouncing the Cobra back into hand to then be able to repeat its ability to gain lore. But right now, you need it to combat your opponent's side, which all the way up at 11-0, this is going to be a hard one to come back from.
Yeah.
The Amethyst Steel.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the Amethyst Steel is pretty good at combating the Steel Song, but it did not have a great start against that poor hamster.
Yeah, you would like a Calhoun here. The Cobra can take out, obviously, either of the Nanis or the Troubadour. Hades is going to come, say, let's make a deal. I will be very surprised if this deal ends in a character being bottom decked. It will not. We'll go ahead and draw 2 cards. Luke has had many thoughts about this Hades before, and here's an example where it's, people have said it's a win more card, right? It's great when you're ahead because you're forcing them into a bad decision either way. But here, your opponent doesn't care if, go ahead, draw as many cards as you want. You have to answer this board or I'm just going to win the game. And then all those cards don't mean anything.
Yeah, and I've seen quite a few different lists, but the reality is that the Amethyst Steel list does have some removal that it can draw into, but it's not a ton outside of Strength of a Thunderbolt and then Strength of a Raging Fire.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know in my Amethyst Steel list, I'm only running Strength. I'm not running Thunderbolts because of the Uninkables.
I couldn't even see him off the screen there. We actually had the Chief down as a bodyguard. So I couldn't even tell what that card was. But yeah, so he just completely protected.
We were so wide. Yeah.
He ate up both the Cobra as well as the Palace Guard. Then the Black Heron traded into one of the Nanis. So we still have 4 lore on board. And Elias, feeling in a pretty good spot, can just happily quest. This Rhino, again, is so much trouble. And here comes Angel. We can absolutely discard just to get Olaf off the field, which looks like I'm assuming we're going to do.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you can bounce the Hades, but I would not recommend it because it'll just be pay 5, draw 2 cards as we quest for another 4, all the way up to 15. And unless Bro Hamilton has just, I don't know, the
magical
the purple Be Prepared that doesn't exist. I don't see this going very well for them. This is one of those, like, I am not even sure how you could possibly get out of this. If your opponent falls asleep, that's usually a good start. We're going to try and go wide. So Pocahontas hook. Hades can favorably take off the Nani and stick around to tell the tale. So we can survive for 1 more turn, even if our opponent quests out, but they will be at 19 and we'll be forced to answer every single thing. As it looks like, I think that was Ariel that came down.
Yes, it was the boost Ariel.
And all the way to 19 saying, all right, what do you have? Deal with this. And I don't think that's going to work. This Rhino has just been here since the first turn and it's not going anywhere.
Up and go to game 2.
Well, that was quite the beatdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, sometimes that is, I feel like, the downside of this Amethyst Steel deck and into the Amber Steel. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And if you do, you do. And it doesn't lend to a very fun game to watch.
Yeah. Well, nor to be on the opposite side of. I mean, you always heard so many complaints about Steel Song pre-rotation, and that was it, right? Like when it gets to do what it wants to do, there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit there. Every character you put down is going to get removed. They would refill their hands with Whole New World. And even though this doesn't have Whole New World or Storm Rage on, like it still has enough power that it can use for free. And a card like the Hamster Rhino, that's just so hard to deal with early. Like, how do you deal with a 4/3 with resist 2 on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if Brohamington was able to keep that Cheshire Cat around, there's a possibility you could move some damage around,
Yeah.
get the resist off that, and be able to remove it. But there was just not the ability to get to that because of Cheshire being removed so quickly.
Yeah, the moment it came down, got hit with the strength. It makes me, I kind of wish for the new Merida that's coming out in the next set as a way to combat resist. It would have been interesting if like her damage effect just increased the damage of the card instead of like an additional 2.
Additional 2,
Yeah, the additional 2 is going to obviously, like, it wouldn't do anything to a Rhino right there. Let's say you try the cannons on it. But if it boosted it fully, maybe. So we'll see. Well, while they're shuffling up here, Courtney, are there any cards you're excited for in the next set?
I'm very excited for the new Dale Legendary that makes your cards go off of their willpower instead of strength. I've been testing that a good amount because I am a Steel Song lover. I know most people like to hate on it, but it's one of my favorite decks to play. So I'm excited to play that and get some Infinity reps in.
Nice. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how he performs, especially in Infinity. I feel like he's a little more vulnerable there with things like the Sisus and the Brawls running around, but yeah, I'd be curious to see how he does.
I've definitely seen him be removed easily. I think a lot of people have like, you want to jump to the conclusion that like he's broken because of some of his abilities, but I think it's a pretty balanced card from the perspective of how easy he is to remove. When you think about those Brawls, Sisus, he is only 4 strength, so a lot of your actions that can deal damage get rid of him pretty easily. But I think it's a good kind of look over here. Don't look over here at this other card that I want even more.
And I've already seen the payoff. I've watched a couple games in yellow purple. So, you have the Dale on 4 and then the Elsa comes down on 5 and suddenly Elsa's hitting for 5 and she just bam, Elsa with the super punch. I was like, whoo, that hurts. That's pretty strong.
Even better than that in Steel Song, when you play the Big Shift Ariel, who has 8
the 3/8,
she now hits for 8, and that feels very good.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's just during challenges, right? So technically she could hit a location for that because you challenged the location. So
it's during any challenge. So that's the other nice thing. It's not when they're challenging, it's your opponent could challenge in and they still have to take that damage. So it's really a powerful mechanism, but also I think still balanced. Like they do get off, you can get them off the board pretty easily.
Yeah. I was messing around with a super build, old Ruby Amethyst style, but like with the new super cards and such. And man, it's kind of just funny how much strength Mr. Incredible gets to. Like I've easily gotten it. He hits for 12, he hits for 14. I don't know what you'd ever do with all that strength, but it's just amusing to, if they ever make a card that's like gain lore equal to this character's strength that you could like combine that with. Maybe that'd be something insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Though you don't have to fear the McDuck Manor as much anymore with cards, I feel like.
Yeah, he just comes just like one shots it. As an incredible being of himself should. So Brohamington will get to go first this time. We do ink our Cobra and set out Mr. Olaf. Which means it's back to Elias. Well, we see our underdog Angel. One good underdog deserves another. Our new underdog mechanic. If this card is specifically played on your first turn of the game while you're going second, its cost is reduced by 1. Olaf's going to go ahead and give a quest. We don't mind if Angel wants to trade into that. And good old Pocahontas. I quite like this card. I feel like Purple Steel hasn't gotten a whole lot over this fabled set of rotations. So I like the aggressive version it's taken with like the Christopher Robins and the Pocahontas. To me, that seems like one of its more effective versions.
Yeah, this has been a really interesting version. I've seen it have some good success at events, and this Pocahontas is nice because not only can you gain lore off of opponents' exerted characters, but also your own. So if you have a genie in play exerted, that feels really good. Also, just a quick way to gain a few lore, and she's a little harder to get off the board.
Yeah. Speaking of difficult on the board, Angel just sang a coot on turn 2, which means if Elias has it, we could have seen that Rhino come down this turn because you can play a character of cost 4. This Rhino is going into Inkwell, however, so perhaps we have another version. Nope, it's Angel. Angel duplicating right here. An Angel on turn 2 is so gross. Oh my! And we can pick this board off right now, like legitimately right now. You can just go, okay, bye Pocahontas. You didn't even get to do anything. I can see why people. I can see why some of the pros have been like, yeah, I think this card's a problem. We should probably do something about it. And there she goes. Her peaceful ways will not be recognized by Angel. Angel said, yeah, that's great. Heads up, boom, threw her a snowball in her face. There goes Chris. Oh, no, that's a Tigger. That's
It's
the
a
genie.
genie.
Okay, yeah. Olaf's going to go ahead and trade. Obviously, we don't want to bounce the genie we just put out. That would not feel very good. This genie can be taken out in 2 turns if we want to throw snowballs at it. Of course, we might dump our own hand size doing that, but not with Nani, our stage manager, coming in, seeing if we can find a character we enjoy. No, is it a miss? It is. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Hey, I get it. I'm a theater person. Like, I know it's like stage manager. Hello, where are the actors? I can't find them.
And then we're going to use a Thunderbolt, or as
Mhm.
I like to refer to, Timu Zeus,
Yeah,
to
I like
get rid of Genie.
Oof. And Bro Hamilton just inked and passed. Like, ooh, this is I was so excited about this. Okay, Olaf into the Pocahontas, and already this is looking really rough as we get our Ariel on the field as well, and we're going to quest for 2.
And this is really, it is a bummer because the Amethyst Steel does have an okay time into this Amber Steel list, but if you don't build up your board state, it's just really hard to stay in the game with the Amber Steel list.
Yeah, and I would argue that it's very difficult to build up your board state when everything gets banished immediately. Like,
Yes.
Angel on turn 2 is just gross. That is hard. So there's a Stitch. Here comes Doc. I assume we've emptied our hand. We're going to draw 2 fresh cards. And I can't quite tell what that last card is. Looks like we paid 1 ink for it, or 2 ink, and then we boosted with the Ariel. See, I'm not quite sure what that far right card is, but I believe it's a 1 or a 2 cost based on the amount of ink we had. I believe Ariel's safe. Ariel is a 3/4, so she's safe from Hades going in. Nani would obviously get banished. Angel does not have resist currently, so we could pick off Angel with Hades, but again, you're only addressing 1 character on the board. We're already up to 6 lore. All right, we need a big turn here. I'm trying to think, what's the best thing we can do? Obviously, the Hades. Demona doesn't really help us much here.
We did just ink a Demona last turn, so would be surprised if we have a second one, but maybe.
Yeah.
And our hand size is pretty big right now, so we'd have to make it a worthwhile Demona, and giving your opponent some cards as well feels pretty bad right now with the board state.
Yeah. Maybe you want like a Sven, even though it would still trade with anything that it runs into, which is unfortunate. Maybe you need the new Frozone that hasn't, it's not out yet, and that could take out the Ariel without banishing itself. Hades will trade into our Angel.
A Cheshire would feel pretty good right now.
Yeah. So we'll get the Genie, no Cheshire. The damage I don't think would have banished anything unless that hidden card we can't really see has 2 willpower, but
no, it wouldn't. You're correct, but I think it at least
it's Troubadour.
We've got a Troubadour. It at least would allow Hades to hang around for another turn and help with managing the board the next turn, but it's a pretty easy target to get rid of right now.
So we're spending 2, bringing down our second Pocahontas. We'll see if this one lasts longer than the first one. I've heard about these turns. This is the first time I saw it in person. Oh yeah, look at that. Turn 2 Pocahontas, doesn't matter, already banished by this Angel that also came down on turn 2. There's the big hamster. Rhino rolling out in his big hamster ball. We're going to boost Ariel again. And can you remind me of the text on this? Do you get something every time you boost, or is it when you sing a song?
No, it's once boosted, Ariel you can draw a card when Ariel sings.
Gotcha.
Or sorry, when any character sings a song, or a song is played.
Very nice. So Troubadour is going to go in. We'll actually take out Big Bad Hades and sticks around with only 2 damage on him. And Elias is all the way halfway to his lore total at this point, up to 10. This is looking very difficult for Amethyst Steel. Ariel is
Yes,
once a turn as
thank
well.
you.
Thank you, Luke. I don't even know how you get out of this. Genie can't contest Troubadour. Pocahontas could, but I mean, you're just getting a Troubadour off the field. Pocahontas can actually hit Doc and Nani as well. But it looks like okay, so we're going to challenge the Doc. Genie's just going to go on a quest because, or no, we're challenging. Okay, now we're going to Cheshire, I'm guessing. Oh, no, we had Fire the Cannons. Okay. So 2 from the Genie challenge. Fire the Cannons. Looks like there was a Mowgli, and I couldn't quite tell what that second card was. Did you?
No, it was a foiled card.
Yeah. Something shiny. I know that. There we go. Did Elsa just challenge Troubadour? Oh, yeah. He only has 3 health, right? Not 4. Okay, so that makes sense. He would have taken 2, reduced by 1.
Mhm.
So Elsa takes out. Okay, that was about as good of a turn as I think Bro Hamilton could have asked for.
Absolutely.
This Rhino is going to be an issue, but at least your Genie's evasive. If the Rhino goes into the Pocahontas, it'll leave damage on it. Nani will trade with it, so...
And you can see he was kind of speculating if he wanted to ink that Demona or keep it in hand. And I think I probably would have also inked because that stops my opponent from drawing. But our opponent here finds their own draw power.
Yeah, says, all right, if you won't play your gargoyle, then I'll play mine, the leader of the Wyvern clan. And my voice is nowhere near deep enough to imitate Keith David. Or is David Keith? I always get it mixed up. I think it's Keith David. He does the voice of Goliath. Also the voice of Dr. Facilier in Princess and the Frog. This Rhino is going to go on a quest. Hits for 2. We are going to trade out the Pocahontas with the Nani. And Goliath will let us just refill our hand every turn. The good news for Bro Hamilton is we can also take advantage of that Goliath if we can empty our hand out as well. Strength would only hit for 2 here. Okay, there's Doc. Are we going to trigger the Doc?
I mean, with 5 ink.
Is the double
2
Doc.
Docs in hand. Yeah. I feel like that's a good call there because you have the draw power still from the Goliath. So it doesn't really feel that bad to...
Oh, nice. Cheshire is just what we needed. So remember, folks, the moving of damage actually gets around the Super Ball effect of the hamster. So it'll take its resist away, and then Elsa can go in and smack it. Very nice. Okay, Bro Hamilton's turning this around. I thought this was going to be another brutal Steel Song start, but we're making it work. And also taking advantage of the Goliath. We will, if you're not aware, Goliath, at the end of your turn, both players have to alter their hand size to 2, whether it means they draw up to 2 or they discard down to 2, but you end your turn with 2 cards in hand. And it is mandatory. You cannot avoid it. It'd be so funny if that was optional. It's like, I got 8 cards. Nah, it's fine. I'll just...
No. I'm okay.
None for me, thanks. And we're seeing the power of this Cheshire now. This mischievous cat is just staring there saying, look at all this damage I have to start shifting towards you. So you better be cautious about what you put out.
Absolutely. And that damage is on 2 evasive characters against a board and a deck that really doesn't have anything to manage those evasive characters.
Yeah. It is very reliant on its songs, its actions. Yeah, I'd be surprised if there's any character in here who can challenge evasives. We will see double Rhino, so we will get 2 strength reduction, 2 instances of 1 strength reduction. We could put that all on 1 character, could make the Doc invisible, could make the Genie not have any strength. However you want to do it. Granted, if we aren't exerting, we're probably not too worried about challenge anyway, unless there's an Elsa. And there's Angel. Angel, nice synergy with the Goliath. Excuse me. As the Goliath will keep filling our hand up, and we can use that for the Angel ammunition. As Goliath will go on a quest, taking us to 14.
And now the decision here, and it's probably not a hard one, is getting rid of that Goliath, so your opponent can't draw anymore, and so they can't quest for 2 each turn.
Yeah, that is huge. If you could somehow force another card into your opponent's hand, you could also freeze it with the Stone by Day. We get our second Cheshire. So, okay, now this is, I was going to say 1 boost wasn't quite be enough. We could pick off both hamsters. We could pick off the Angel, or we could shift a grand total of 4 to the Goliath and then have like the Doc take it out. I'm assuming that's what we're going to do. We want to cut that card draw off. both of these cats came to play, and they are just batting a ball of yarn. And Glass just getting wrapped up in it, and he's like, and then Doc's gonna go in and I don't know why Doc sounds like Mickey Mouse, but he does. That's his voice now. I've decided. All right.
It always feels good when you get to use just a little guy like Doc to take out such a big body.
Yeah. And even with an angel snowball, the genie nor Elsa will get banished by this. Like Elias is going to need some other form of removal or damage in order to do that. We can quest all the way up to 17, and Brohamington has a long way to go on their side, but that does completely expose your board. We'll go ahead and cast a Cood, get a free draw for that. And any character we have is now reduced by 2, which would give us a free shift line for Rhino if we had it. We're going to spend 1. No, we're not.
We're going to think about our life choices.
Sometimes when they move methodically, it's like you can comment on every. Here we go. We're spending 1 ink. No, we're not. We're putting that back. Okay. Yes, we are. No, we're rethinking it. We're considering all of our options here. I'm assuming Elias has no just slam dunk card in hand. Otherwise, you assume they would just jam it out. So here comes a quest for 2, up to 16. There's not much point in Angel throwing a snowball, especially with 2 Cheshire sitting there. You're almost just giving them damage to move around. So
absolutely. And I'm interested.
Go ahead.
I'm interested in what we have in hand. So we're going to take a look at a genie and a Doc, so some draw power on Brohamington's side, which is really good for him.
Yeah, and that genie will help catch up on lore very, very quickly. Mowgli is a pretty susceptible target to the damage moving. Oh, looks like we got the chief. That's pretty good. Okay, this is a winning board state. So you now have to answer multiple of these characters. Obviously, a Cheshire boost can answer 1. You could also, if you boost first, attack the angel, you could boost again, but you have to answer the bodyguard first, right?
Right. You do have to answer that bodyguard first. We haven't seen strengths on Brohamington's side yet. So possible to draw into those.
We know we had Doc and Genie, so we could just go in on Doc if we don't like anything else. Ink the Genie, Doc, just try to find some other removal, because I don't think we have enough on board here. Let's see. So if you move 2 to the chief is a 5/5, right?
Yep.
So you could move 2 to the chief. You could give up one of the cats, take the chief out, then strike. Then you could do some more manipulation. Strike an angel, move that over. We are going to go in on the Doc line, so we drew Genie. Yeah, that's just a bit too expensive for us to play right now. We need to find some removal. Did we find it? Are we going to sing it? Are we going to sing that strength of a raging fire? Oh, we blew him to next week. He may be peaceful. He may not want to challenge, but that's not what Mulan and company thought. They said, get him, and they just drop kicked him through the air. Perfect. I mean, that's exactly what we needed. You absolutely need the strength. Now, you could go in with the cat. Yeah, you can just boost however you want to do this. We're going to do 1 to Angel. Boost again. Yeah, have Elsa finish it off. There you go. And now, probably cat into hamster, Elsa into hamster, Genie quest for 2. No, actually, okay, just doesn't want to. I would have risked the cat there. At this point, I know cat is valuable, but I would have put the 1 damage on the cat. I think that Doc just got played, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
That Doc should not be able to quest, but the cat can quest for 1. I especially with just a Mowgli sitting on board, I think I would have taken a chance there, taken the 1 damage on the cat, and just get the 2 lore with Genie, because at some point you gotta
catch up.
You gotta catch up. The top Doc. the top Doc. Okay, we caught the Doc. Yeah, it didn't quest. Because here's the concern. If they flood the board, you have to find more spot removal, which looks like exactly what we're going to do. And that's a Lilo. And Mowgli's going to quest. So we absolutely have to find some spot removal here. We only have 1 bit of damage. We can get 1 more if we send the Elsa into the Mowgli. You'd have what are the stats on that Lilo?
That's a great question. I am pulling it
That's
up.
the-
It's
I
a
cannot-
2/2.
Okay, so we could shift the damage over to the Lilo because I think it quests for 2, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
So if we
Actually, it only quests for 1.
okay, either way, we have to get rid of 3 characters here because our opponent's on 18. Challenge on the Mowgli's easy enough, but we have to find some other spot removal. We have to find multiple forms of spot. Well, I guess so. The cat is one form of spot removal. You challenge with the Elsa. You move the 2 over to the Lilo or the Willow, and then you have to get another Elsa or Strength or something to answer that final character. Boy, we wouldn't mind bouncing that cat back to our hand somehow right now.
Yeah, either one of those would feel really good.
Casual draw 4 cards. Is the tree and the dwarf going to take it? Do we have a way to get out of this? I'm kind of starting to feel no, because I feel like Brohamington would have just fired it off if we had it, unless they're just being very dramatic. Holding it for the last possible instance. Yzma and Strength of Stefan, nothing, and that'll be the game. Elias goes ahead and takes it. It was a heck of a comeback. Brohamington really tried to make something out of that, but just fell a little short.
Yeah, really great playing from both players there. There's not much you can do. The deck was not as kind as we would have liked it to be to Brohamington there. Oh,
Whoops. Yeah, Luke was like, I'm tired of that. I'm just going to get rid of it.
That's even better that they couldn't hear you at all.
They were deemed muted. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty back and forth. It ultimately came down to some docks, right? Habibi got that dock off the top. Brohamington got a good dock off the top too that got us into that strength and got that really key turn. Like, I think Brohamington fought that as best they could, but especially when you have that Akud start, it's just like, and that's on the draw. Like, it kind of just throws, hey, I know I'm going second, but I have a 4 cost on turn 2 and there's nothing you can do about it. So that was rough.
Yeah, really rough, but great playing from both players there on that matchup. I'm excited to kind of see what both of these decks do after this next set comes out. They're both getting some really great cards to swap in for the next core and for even Infinity.
Absolutely. Someone said, I'm surprised more people don't run, but I'm much faster. Do you remember what that card does? I'm going to look that one up.
Yeah, so this is a card that sometimes gets teched in.
Chosen character gains alert and challenger 2 this turn. Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's the song. That makes sense. It doesn't replace itself, but yeah, it's a good way to answer those evasive characters if you need to.
I think
talk about all right, go ahead.
I like that I'm much faster. I've seen people tech it in successfully, but I think the problem that it is very situational. So there are just better cards you can put in to take that card spot. But it can be helpful in some scenarios and certain matchups. It's one of those things where I'm like, can I get a sideboard? A sideboard would be wonderful. Like,
yes. That'd be one of those cards that you would absolutely have in your sideboard. Man, I don't know, Courtney. I don't know if I like the return of Steel Song. If there's one possibly good thing that came from rotation, it was like, okay, at least I don't have to face that deck anymore. But it's coming back. Ooh, I don't know. I
will say I successfully beat Steel Song 2 times with a Amethyst Steel deck in a set champs.
Oh, nice.
Set. So it's doable. It's definitely doable.
Did you have any key cards or characters that you felt were really helpful doing that?
So Cheshire Cat is a huge help for that, along with your smaller bodies that are big bodies. So if you can kind of if they can't take them out in the one swing of like an angel snowball, that's really helpful to be able to like keep consistently building up your board versus them being able to pick away your characters one by one. So I've found more success without the Pocahontas package and like Christopher Robin's. I don't run those in my Amethyst Steel list for that reason, because I just feel like they're a little too soft in both the Amber Steel matchup as well as the Mirror.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Nice. That's good to see. I do like to see an oppressive deck like that fail. So admitting total bias there on my part. I have no issue saying that.
I love, so it's funny because both of the decks are my two favorite decks to play.
Yeah.
So I think that it is also helpful knowing exactly like what you're playing into and the lines of your opponent's deck. That definitely can help you think through some like a step ahead of them.
Well, it looks like the chat agreed with you. Oop. Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Doing good.
Congratulations on your win. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was very impressive, and if I won't lie, I felt kind of bad for your opponent with that first round was just kind of like typical Steel Song stuff, where just you removed everything that came out. That Rhino never even left the board. It was like, oh my goodness. And then game 2, getting that Angel into a Cood line, that was the first. I'd always heard about it, but it was the first time I got to visually see it, and I was like, oh, geez, that's gross. Kind of talk to me about that line and how powerful you think it is, or if there's some weakness to it. Please tell me that as well.
Yeah, it was a little risky because I did have the aerial in hand as well, and usually the right play when you have a bunch of songs in your hand and an aerial is to go for that line, because in the long run it's gonna end up drawing you more cards. But I decided to be a little bit greedy because I had a dock in my hand and as well as a Nani, so I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I'll draw with the dock. I'm sure to find better cards later, and I have enough songs to do something reasonable with the strengths. Then he proceeded to not play a character, and I drew, when I played my Nani, I put 4 songs to the bottom, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this aerial's never drawing me a card for the rest of this game, the one I drew later. So it was, it feels good that I found an aerial again, but it was also feels bad that I depleted my hand so early. So took a big risk. Fortunately, it paid off. There was some moments there it was scary, especially with the double cats, but
Yeah.
We found the line.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, Bro Hamilton was really making a comeback of it with the cats and the way they could manipulate that damage around. But you put on really good lore pressure. Just keep, nope, I got to push the tempo, push the tempo, push the tempo. Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, it's a
Go ahead.
it's a tricky matchup sometimes. It's really tricky with the cats. You basically are holding strengths and removal for the cats. So when one does come down, you send all your removal to the bottom. You know that my job at that point was like, I just gotta turn sideways because I'm probably gonna drop every 2 drop that I didn't see off that first Nani is gonna be on the top of my deck now.
Yeah.
So we gotta go one way and it's sideways.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good to adjust like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I'm curious. So as we move into the next set, what cards do you think will slot into this like a little bit lower to the ground build of Steel Song versus the more like traditional that may come back in the Infinity, where I think like this build will be more for core? Or do you think there's a version of this that sees play in Infinity as well? Oh, and we've lost to BB.
He's like, I will not answer that question. I will not give away the set 12 sauce.
The secrets are apparently locked away with Habibi. So we'll have to go to Canada to get them.
Yeah. I don't know if he's coming back, so we'll say, yeah. Oh, there you are. Welcome back. So we had some technical difficulties, so we're just going to give you a nice hearty congratulations. Well done. And we're going to go on to another match. So thank you for jumping on with us. We appreciate it. Yeah, he's muted anyway. And he's gone. All right.
Great game, Habibi. And we are on to the next match. So we have Andy and Alvin playing against each other. And it looks like we have an Amber Ruby build against an Amethyst Sapphire.
It's
so
Blurple. Yeah. Good old Blurple. Oh, I like the Batman sleeves. Let's see. That's God, the fuzzy. I see it's a Scrooge. Okay, it's the big Scrooge with a lot of boosting under it. So this must be the old Boosty Boys, as they refer to it. The Emperor's New Crew. That's a great name. Great name. I like that. And the Salty Ducks, an equally great name. Please, a Ruby Amethyst player. We'll spend 2, boost our Scrooge. I believe it has 3 cards under it, which should make it a
like
6/6. Yeah. Which is
this card scares me always whenever I see it played, because the bigger it gets, the harder it is to remove. The removal for it once it's like past a 6/6 is rough.
If you're playing damage-based removal, it is incredibly scary. I tend to only play decks like Blurple or Baja that have just like, that's great, into your Inkwell. So that part I don't mind as much. But yes, if you have to do damage-based removal or challenges, like I've seen the terror that duck can cause.
But I would also argue even making the decision to send it into an Inkwell here is pretty hard, because you're then giving them essentially 4 more ink to work with. And they've got some big bodies that they can drop with all that ink.
Right now, I'm not as scared of it, but if people start playing new Leviathan, yeah, that's something you'd have to watch for on the crackback. You fool, you've given me 10 ink. And then the ink just like molds together and becomes the machine, and he leaps out and just eats the board. What is that far right card? I can't quite tell what that is. Is that dragon? Oh, yes. That's a dragon. Okay. Is it reversed? Am I crazy?
That I think just might be the newer art for it.
Oh, okay. Well, everything's reversed. Is like the camera flip?
Yes.
Because I was like, all the lore is on the left side. Okay. I thought I was going crazy for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I don't recognize that. And the lore is over here on the wrong side.
You have not lost your brain yet.
That's good. I thought I did. Yeah. Usually it takes till at least round 3 to get there, but hey, there we go. Now it's fixed. Now I must have just been imagining it. Yeah, my mistake.
Yeah.
Totally made that up in my head. We're given a long, hard stare at the Blurple cards on Andy's side. So that must mean we not have anything we really like. I'm assuming this is going to be Demona. No, it's 7. There's Hades.
I think we're just going to have deciding what we want to send to the Inkwell there.
We get rid of the dragon, but that's about it. Only advantage for Andy at this point is that the Scrooge at least isn't getting lore every time you boost a card. So while the body is massive, at least it's not like questing for 5 lore or anything, but still looks like it's 0 to 11. So our red yellow can keep putting on the pressure as we boost again. I don't believe we have the diary on, or wait, no, we do. Okay. It's a little off camera, but the diary is way to the left there. Is this another dragon? Yes, it is. And this is looking mighty over for the Blurple player as red yellow continues to just push closer and closer.
Yeah, and this is just a really hard place for the Blurple deck to be in, because a lot of their characters do cost a lot. So to crack back and clear multiple characters off the board in one go is pretty hard. Yeah.
This was the one thing I never really cared for about Blurple, is that its board control was terrible. You had to individually answer each and every card, and having to use something like Monstro back in set 9 like didn't feel good. From relying on Monstro, it's not incredible. We clearly don't have any kind of slam dunk option. Gonna pay 3. Is it gonna be Demona? Nope. Oh, are we paying 10? Is it Leviathan? Is it one set early in the wrong color?
No, we're going to dig for some answers here.
Oh my goodness, it's a hard cast second star to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen someone pay 10 for that. And yeah, we spread them out, just showing I don't think there's anything I can do here. Gonna go ahead and scoop it up. And then if my eyes are correct, Alvin won game 1, and Alvin's gonna win game 2 as well. So a pretty brutal beatdown. It seems like a Blurple. Obviously, we didn't get that entire match, but
yeah, I think that would be an interesting match to see. I haven't seen the Ruby Amber deck a ton. I know that some people have been playing it on the ICL, but I haven't been able to tune into a ton of those matches. But it's a fun deck. I've only seen a couple players playing it locally, so I'm excited always to see it. So I was bummed that we only got a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's the little I've observed it. It seems like a very swingy deck in the sense that when it goes off, it draws so many cards, it removes so many things you have, and it feels, wow, this deck is so strong. But then I've seen it when you don't get the diary or you don't have that consistent boost, and it just completely runs out of cards and it just doesn't do anything. So it's very interesting to see how yeah.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. Like if it doesn't get the cards it needs, it's definitely missing a few pieces still to be that like top tier deck that you're going to want to bring to League, or you're going to want to bring to larger events.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. We'll see if we can get another one. We might be close to moving on to round 2. I'm not sure how many time we have left in our other matches. So whilst we're doing that, I can we'll go ahead and chat a little. Since we got Pixar coming out in this set, Courtney, I'll ask you, what's your favorite Pixar movie?
So contrary to belief, because I have my Incredibles glasses on right now, it's definitely Brave.
Really? Interesting.
Brave is a Pixar movie.
It is a Pixar movie. You're the first person I've ever heard say that. Why do you like Brave so much?
I am Irish. Obviously, it's a Scottish movie, but I still just really love, and I like the mother-daughter aspect of the storyline a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think
probably my second favorite would be Up.
Yeah,
we don't get that till next set.
Up is very good. Let's see, Brave came out in 2012, and I have found that as well. I've noticed myself and most of my guy friends tend to not like it as much, but I've noticed a lot of my female friends, they really connect with that mother-daughter thing, which makes sense because that's something they can actually relate to. So yeah, I've observed that. I was like, yeah, most of the girls I know tend to like that movie more than most of the guys I know.
But I'm really excited. What is your favorite Pixar movie?
The Incredibles is my number 1 favorite. I actually have an entire ranking. There's a video on my channel somewhere about it. Number 2 is A Bug's Life, which I love and I think is very underrated. Oh, we got someone in the chat with us. Who is that? Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, never mind.
Yes, I also like Bug's Life as well. That is a fantastic choice. That is, I feel like, one that people forget about a lot.
Yeah. I think it's great. Hopper's such a great villain. I could say almost his entire speech in the cantina. I love that speech so much. And I've always really looked up to Flick. Like I like his courage and how he's, even though it like gets him physically beat up, the way he'll stand up to people and Hopper and all those. Again, his ending speech to Hopper too. I could quote almost that whole thing. So I adore that movie. I think it's got a lot of great moments in it.
So I have a very funny story. The Tree of Life at Disney World, so
in Animal Kingdom,
used to be A Bug's Life. Now it's Zootopia.
They changed it? Huh.
They did. It just changed this past year. But when it first opened, I was a wee little kid and terrified of bugs. And my family went to Animal Kingdom, went to the show. And there's like a part where bugs like crawl under your seat.
Yeah, I remember.
The seat actually has like bumps, so it feels like the bugs are truly there. And I proceeded to cry like a baby. And as a grown adult, would not go on that ride because I was tormented so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember at the end they go, "Oh, please allow all our small bugs to get out before you," and then you feel the seats moving, and you're like, "Ah!" Yeah, that was a fun show.
It was definitely a fun show. It was just not for somebody who wasn't a huge bug fan.
Oh, sure.
I will say, if you go see the Zootopia show, which I have been able to see this year, it is very cute. It's very good. But some of those things still happen and still scared the crap out of me.
Okay. And now we're live.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Hello.
So we only got to tune in for the last bit of the match. So I'm curious how you feel about that matchup into Blurple. Has it feel pretty comfortable?
It really depends on the Ruby Amber deck. There's one that is not great into Blurple, and there's one that is great into Blurple. And since I saw the diary, this is the version that is made to beat Blurple. And so, as expected, it kind of got the Webby out. The Scrooge is very hard to take out and just sort of snowballed card advantage while just very, very slowly
Yes.
whittling away Blurple's cards until eventually the board just was too much. And that it's a very, very long, grindy matchup, but that kind of plays out exactly how the Amber Ruby player wanted it.
Yeah, you had so much ink when we came in at the end, so I was like, well, either he's just been inking to the moon, or was like, no, actually, I was able to, I got a lot of Hades and Into the Unknown and stuff that put cards into your inkwell.
Oh, that wasn't me playing though. I was just watching.
Oh, you were just watching. I'm sorry, I thought you were playing. Ah, excellent. See, I like
So
when I
you
get
just
these
got-
producer
yep.
notes in my ear.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that was my I was not thinking through that either, and definitely thought they pulled in the player for an interview, and I was like, oh yeah. So just ignore me over here.
That's all right. I'll take the hit. I'll take the embarrassment. Excellent. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I would think Blurple would be decent against that matchup because, again, I was talking to Courtney about it. They shouldn't really fear the Scrooge. Okay, Into the Unknown. I mean, granted, you ramped them like 3 or 4 cards. That doesn't feel good, but like it's not like you have to challenge into the body. So I would have been curious to see how that played out because it looked very lopsided when we came in.
Yeah, it's definitely entirely on the diary, just continuously getting resources with all these different boost characters, and then you put Blurple in this situation where if they let it go or Into the Unknown, the Scrooge, you're inking them a vast amount, and then they turn the Maleficents online and can just counteract whatever you do.
Yeah, that's no good giving them free dragon ammunition.
Oh yeah.
So what card are you most excited about for this next set?
Not Dale. I really like the Merryweather. So far, she's been giving me nightmares and troubles playing Amber Steel. It's basically defeat Blurple very easily, but if they go Merryweather Scuttle, it's like, what do I do? So it's a very, very strong 3, right? It's a 4 cost, but you play it on turn 3 card, and it's really changing Blurple's speed and dynamic there and making it one of the strongest decks, surprisingly, in Infinity. I wouldn't have had that on my bingo card this early, but that one card is really just kind of snowballing that difference for Blurple's favor.
That's awesome. I have not played into that in any of my testing yet, so now you have me thinking I need to check and test against that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Go ahead. I was gonna say I'm curious to see how these decks will adapt to set 12 coming out this next set. Like what they'll bring in, what they'll end up leaving out.
Yeah, I think the Merryweather's an easy 4 of in a lot of Sapphire decks just because of its speed, playing on turn 3 from the ramp, and its just ability to contest the board. Having the 5 willpower and 4 strength is just exact numbers that are just great into this entire meta, basically.
Gotcha. I'll be curious to see how that one plays out.
Definitely interested to see that because I have not. I have a strong policy of I don't play Sapphire.
Ouch.
Sapphire is my favorite, personally.
I've been on Baja most of the set, and I'll probably stick with that unless something causes me to change.
I respect it. I respect it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair. You definitely have to be comfortable. There's some people I've taught or coached before, and you have to be comfortable being behind, right? You have to assume that unless you're going against a mirror, you're always going to be chasing them for lore. And I know some players don't like that feeling. They're like, no, I want to be more even with them or even setting the pace. So
yeah, and counterpoint to that, I rather feel behind and always be in the game than playing a deck like Emerald Steel where all of a sudden you've lost, but you can't lose.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you just kind of sit there. You're like, do I just concede here? Do I play it out?
Yeah. I mean, I almost felt that for Bro Hamilton in the match we saw, that when Elias got that angel into a Cood on turn 2 into the 4-drop angel, it felt like it was over right then and there. So we got the rare treat where Bro Hamilton was able to kind of stick with it, but it felt like, oh, turn 2, game's already over. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, and Amber Steel is kind of the deck. That and Dogs are the 2 that just snowballs out of control by turn 3 or 4 really, really quickly. What I call unlosable on the play hands in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what deck they have, even if they have the quote unquote counter. It's like you're just too fast. You will just get there where before they can ever do anything about it.
Yeah.
All right, production manager, how are we looking for our next one?
Listen,
Oh, okay. I like
Okay,
to tap my headphones as if that gives me like, because you
Like
see it in all like spy
magic.
movies and such. Hold on, I'm getting information from headquarters. Lorcana's on the way.
Yeah, my headphones are just for show. I've actually got my speakers and my microphone off to the side.
Do you really? That's funny.
That makes it even better. You shouldn't have told everybody.
Just
You
complete
have
the
to sell it.
illusion. To complete that's I should wear sunglasses and pretend. Hold on, let me pull that card up. Beep beep.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "So what does it say?" Be like, I don't know. These are normal sunglasses.
Oh gosh, these are the
there we go.
wrong ones that I can't even see the screen with.
Very nice. For those out there in chat land, we'll go ahead and pose the question to you. What are you looking forward to most in the new set Wilds Unknown? Is there a certain character, archetype you're going to try, toys or heroes, or I don't know, single cards, ideas, anything? Feel free to throw it out there. Here's a question. Here. This will be a discussion while we're waiting. To kind of imitate Jerry Seinfeld, what's the deal with locations? They keep giving us new locations. They give cards that support them, and they just never become a thing. Like, why is that? I want both your opinions on that.
I think you have. Go for it.
It's a very like niche kind of card where not a lot of decks can afford the time taken and tempo lost to play that. And so you're either kind of stuck in this hyper aggro build where you're playing these cheap locations to just get over the line early and have your characters finish the game late, or you're playing these slow decks like Ruby Sapphire where you're able to play these large bodied locations and then clear the board with either like Be Prepared or Raging Storm, and then let the location survive and continuously gang lore. And so it's two kind of polarizing decks that aren't like the most popular in the meta at all times currently. And so it's just sort of hard to fit in. Minus there's a few Amethyst locations that do have actually like useful effects. And then on occasion we've seen the Mines played, which also had a useful effect. So it's very just, they're very, very hard to make value-wise costed to be able to play in a deck consistently and have it perform over and over.
Do you think there's some... Go ahead, Courtney. I want to hear what you say.
I was about to say, you said that much more eloquently than I was going to. So I'm glad I let you go before me.
Well, much appreciated.
Well, I was going to ask, do you think there is something that could alter that? Like, are they all too expensive? Should they not have a move cost? Should they just, should we make ones that actually punch back like a character would, so they actually like have a damage? Like, I just wonder, because I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea of these cards that are immune to most removal, but other than outside like the Protect the Castle or the McDuck Manor versions, which, like you said, always had these board wipes, they just never seem to pop up. And so I'm always just thinking, okay, how can we make these things work?
I think hitting back could be a good possibility. Like if we see a location that hits back when characters challenge in, that could be something that makes them a little bit more viable. But I also then worry, like, you lose the balance of like, what is that card going to cost?
Yeah. They have these just very, very thin lines. Like if we even talk about, you mentioned Castle, where sometimes you play Castle and it's a horrible card because you don't really have a board and you're playing it into their board and they can just take it out for free. And so it's just a very inconsistent, locations are just very inconsistent cards of when they're good, and you want to have them and draw them at the right time. And so a lot of them are like appropriately costed, and even in those aspects, they're still not like a perfect play a lot of the time because you do have to have some board state and be in control of the game a little bit. And so they're very, very, very tough to just make. Because if you make them like too cheap, then they're just insane. And right now we see stuff where like Library and Castle argumentatively have been kind of too powerful or too much lore or too much willpower. And in those situations, they still have times where they're just terrible. And so I think that's the like good and bad part of locations, and they're just very hard to design in a way that they're just always useful.
Very insightful.
Well, I just got a note from production that we are ready for round 2. So I will say goodbye to everybody. And if you want to catch me, you can catch me on Enchanted Chatter across social media. Bye, y'all.
See you, Courtney.
It was nice chatting with you.
All right. Who do we have? We have ETB on our left, Riley Taylor, and Lycos, Sunflower Illumineers on the right. I don't know if is it the same team? I don't know if we need to update those. Excellent.
Yep,
Very good.
Same team.
So we're doing a nice little pre-match shuffle. What did you play all set, J-Bomb?
I played nothing except for Emerald Sapphire. I played it in Brazil a couple weeks ago. I played it in the ICL every time I played this set, and it was okay. I believe if I had more time to play this set, I should have played Dogs and would have had a much better time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with the Dogs. That deck is very oppressive.
Yeah, I asked Tiago if 3 weeks was enough time to learn Dogs before Brazil, and he said no, so I stuck with Green-Blue.
Baja. I love a good Baja, man. It's kind of crazy. Like when Ed put Ink Geyser in there, I was like, I don't know, isn't that card kind of a meme? But now that I've played with it, it's like it's kind of crazy how much more consistent it makes the deck, if that makes any sense, which is a strange thing to say because that's not a card you would think of consistency. But when you get all those cards back to your hand, you're like, oh, good, this thing I had to ink earlier, I can use it now. Like, I don't know, it's kind of nutty.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I inked 2 your welcomes. Let me just sneak those back real quick.
Yeah, and then you sing them with what you have on board.
Yeah.
Dude, at locals last night, I played for turn like Hades to tuck one of the things, Cinderella. I had 2 Cinderellas on the board, and I sailed and ink geysered, and I got up to 9 ink that turn because I double ink for sail, played a Tipo, got him in there, and then Cinderella. I was just like, this is crazy. You feel so insane when it goes off.
You're giving me PTSD because I did that in Brazil and lost that game.
No, how? What,
I had
have 19 lore?
I had 15 cards in hand and didn't have a Prince Philip. I had 4 Malicious in my hand.
Oh,
could not get the combo. It was heartbreaking.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah, because you got to feel like there's no way I can lose like this when that goes off. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks.
Yeah, that's the Baja life.
That is the Baja life.
Died by the Prince Philip combo.
Yeah, which I'm grateful that exists though, because that's so much more consistent than the old heads held high under the. I hated having to do that.
All right, so getting into the game, Lycos will be on the play because Habibi did take round 1 for ETB and continuing their dominance throughout pretty much every season of the ICL so far.
They surely have entered the battlefield, and it's very true.
Yeah,
I thought they were getting ready to play. It looks like they're still. I believe they've already done. Are they still resolving mulligans? They might still be resolving mulligans.
They have done the altars, I believe, so I think they're just waiting on the go ahead. And so I've been fortunate enough to sit next to Riley in a few DLC rounds. Never played against him, but very, very strong player. I know he was a big Ruby Sapphire player in past sets, so a man after my own heart because that is my favorite deck of old.
Did you do the Shark Manor version, or did you prefer like the Item Workshop Flaversham version?
I've never played a workshop in the tournament play. I was a Shark Man.
Nice. Shark Man. Yeah, I get it. That card is still, dude. I know it's not what it once was, but if that card sticks around, you're just like, oh my God, I hate this card so much.
Still think Shark is one of the top 5 cards in the game. It's the other Ruby cards that make it unplayable.
Yeah, they just feels like they've kind of ignored that color. So yeah, Shark is still a beast. Oh, maybe we're not doing mulligans. No, we are. Okay. We're just deciding what to ink. We will see a Steel Goliath and pass.
All right, so it's either going to be Amber Steel or Sapphire Steel, and to be honest, I always love a good Sapphire Steel game, and so we're seeing Dumbo into Royal Guard, which usually tells me that this is going to be a clean blurple game from Riley. So if anything is going to determine it, it's going to be this turn to reveal the ink, but I'm hoping for Sapphire Steel, and we are going to, unfortunately for me, get Amber Steel, but will be an exciting match nonetheless.
Indeed. Yeah, the old, unless we're on mono amethyst, which is always technically possible, but it is likely blurple. We'll see. Do you think blurple, have you had much experience in this matchup? How do you think blurple does against Field Song?
This is really one of the only matchups I think you don't want as Amber Steel, but if it really depends on the pilot, because Diego, one of the best Amber Steel pilots, he played against, I believe, 6 Blurples in Brazil and beat them all, and it's historically been one of the worst matchups for Amber Steel. So it's not your favorite, but it's very winnable.
Yeah,
and that's the benefit of playing Amber Steel decks.
Yeah, which is interesting too, because I remember pre-rotation, like Steel Song was known to beat up on the purple list that existed back then. So it's kind of funny to see how that's changed. We did get our second Dumbo into the Inkwell on Riley's side, so we are already down 2 Dumbo. Although I feel like that elephant hasn't quite had the impact he used to, like back in Fabled.
No, there's a lot more answers than there was back in set 9. And so while he is still very strong and a great top deck late game, he's not really what you want to be doing early versus Amber Steel, just because until their hand's depleted, they have all the answers in the world to your characters. And so Lycos is going to be doing one of the most powerful things he can do is sing a Cood on turn 2, which notably allows him to access the 4 costs, which are likely to be Ariel,
yes. We could even do a 5 cost if we have it. I don't know if this deck runs any 5 costs, but because we haven't inked for turn. We're really thinking through our turn. Want to make sure we are choosing correctly what we want to ink, what we want to play. Here comes the 4 cost. There's the Angel. Saw this in our first round.
Yep.
Although this time against a different one. And we actually throw out the, man, what good synergy that is to take this Lilo, just, it bounces off, tumbles into your discard, and just waiting there to be revived on the next turn.
Yeah, when I first built this deck, I was like, there's not a real lot of ways to discard. And then I was like, oh yeah, Angel discards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, never mind. You have Angel. Yeah, which just infinite. Yeah, crazy how well that works.
Yeah, so Lycos is taking the board very strongly here as she was on the play, so this is making sense. So Riley's going to have an uphill battle to get back into this board state, and likely going to want an Iago here. A Genie would be okay, but not the preferred method into fighting against this board.
It will be the Genie. You like Iago into the Steel Song? I mean, I guess it's immune to the Angel like vanish removal, but obviously any song that can target it.
I don't mind Iago into Steel Song because they have a lot of removal anyway, and it's not like they're using these kind of fake cards to hit your Iago. They're using actual removal, and so it's not really a huge loss as it is for other decks when, like, say, Blurple used to play the Hypnotic Strength.
Yeah, that was such an easy way to clean it up. Good point. So Genie, no real threat to strike back at our characters. Obviously, you can quest for a bit. I mean, you're probably pretty safe. I mean, especially the Troubadour. Yeah, you can go ahead and quest with both of these. Elsa could exert them anyway if you really wanted to.
Yeah, and you beat me to it. I was going to say I'll take the lore here because Elsa is going to take out anything anyway, and that's the most likely play for next turn. And so we might as well just get ourselves on the board with lore, because the longer this game goes, the more it's going to be favorable for Riley to come back and equalize the play draw disparity and take the game. Yeah,
never count out Blurple. Into the Unknown could be powerful here as well. We potentially let it go if we have that. Could always throw Hades out, see if we Lycos will take a deal. Should probably target the Rhino, maybe the Angel as well.
Yeah, Hades would not be bad here. Obviously, I think it would be the draw too, but we're going to go ahead. I'm going to guess Elsa. Oh, it is the Hades.
It is the Hades.
Nice call.
Says, let's make a deal. Yeah, the only thing with the Elsa is you would have to send the Genie in as well, and I just didn't think Riley really wanted to do that. So this, at least, this is a guarantee, right? We're either going to get our 2 cards or they're getting something off the board. And as you called it, they got the 2.
Yeah, as Amber Steel, you're pretty much always giving them the 2. You can't ever lose your board. The board is the most important thing to you.
Yeah. And we send that Angel, give me the call, into the unknown.
Oh. Yeah. And so Riley has taken a domination of a turn there and really taken the initiative back. And so Lycos is going to have to come out swinging this turn in order to fight back. Would like to see maybe 2 characters and a strength on either the Hades or the Genie, and then continue to quest and get some lore before Riley gets to that 7-drop Hades turn, and then can start clearing characters quickly.
You mentioned that this is probably Amber Steel's worst matchup, and because you have things like the Hades, the Indie Unknowns, right? You don't care about the willpower. You don't care how much resist you have. Nope, that's just immediately going off the board, regardless of how strong it is. As Ariel will come down, and we'll give her a little boost, a little help.
Yeah, a boost.
There
and
you
then
go.
Here we go to sing an Akud. Okay, so that's going to hopefully draw something good for Lycos. We're going to get a second crack at it because of the boosted Ariel, and ideally we get a strength and can take out one of these characters. If not, it's not the end of the world.
Strength would be one shy. Currently, we need one more character on the field, but we do have one extra ink. Or no, did we have more the ink than I thought? Ariel costs 4, right? Oh, the Akud, right? It reduces it, so it's free. Now we can use a strength if we have it, but we're just going to go ahead and quest with the Rhino. You could run both these characters into the Rhino, but Riley absolutely does not want to do that. So
yeah, I think Lycos would be enthralled with that position.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're taken out by that Rhino.
Could run both into the Troubadour. Again, I don't know if that's what we want to do. May have to if we feel we need to control the board state a little more. Demona doesn't do a whole lot for us here. Elsa is going to go ahead and exert probably the Willow, unless we want to get rid of the Ariel. Ariel is your card draw.
Yeah.
It will be the Ariel.
Yep. And so we double value trade to take out this Ariel. And then this sets up nice Cheshire Cats for us next turn.
Yeah.
If our characters are not dealt with, and then we are going to take the 2 lore from the Genie. And notably, Riley did ink the most inkable little tot in the Tipo. Our favorite card to ink past turn 2.
Oh yeah, that every time. Oh good. Anytime I like start a game with 2 Tipo in hands, like perfect. I know it's going into the inkwell.
Yeah. And I always love it's like need any ink. Oh yes, we got Tipo.
Hey,
one time
we got
I want it. All right, so we are opting to take back our good friend Lilo to get some more board presence here because we were running out of resources. So we're taking the time while we still have 3 characters to get the Lilo out and get some value from her.
And Lilo with a pretty busted interaction with the Grandmother Willow. Her cost reduction affects the Lilo because it is the first card you are playing that turn character. So the Lilo gets to come out of the discard for just 1 ink, which feels is quite the difference between 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, 50% discount for a 2 lore. Oh, it's wonderful. And so we are opting to play the Troubadour into a dock. So quite interesting. I think she was looking for a strength or some way to just deal with some of these characters here, because the other option would have been to just play the Goliath, but we are also going into the Hades turn, so I can see either way, but it would have been something to consider. I think both plays could be correct. Obviously, if you draw like a strength here, one of them would have been very nice, but yeah, going into the Hades turn, I can't fault anybody for making this dock play.
Right. And this is usually how you beat Blurple, right? Is it's never had great board control. It has to individually answer every character. Yep. So if you go wide, you're forcing them. They don't have a B prep or a way to reset this. They have to individually go in on each one.
Oh, yeah. And so we are playing a plethora of characters to increase our board state. And as you said, Riley's just not going to be able to answer a ton of these at once. And we did get a song finally. And so the question is this going to go into the Genie or the Elsa? And it looks like the Genie. And then I'd imagine we are going to take out this Hades, but it looks like we are just going to take the lore and quest and say, Riley, go ahead and
deal with it. Yeah.
Deal with it. Yeah. So,
I think Riley absolutely wants to see a cat here so you can heal the Hades and then use it for removal.
Yeah.
Whereas like big blue Hades is great, but if that's your entire ink, that's your whole turn, just having him take one thing off the board. So I think Cheshire could probably do the most damage here.
Yeah, Cheshire would be great. And that the Cheshire is kind of a reason why you might want to go into the Hades so it doesn't double trade after the Cheshire. But if there's no Cheshire, Lycos is going to be very heavily rewarded for taking that extra lore.
The Elsa can at least cleanly take the Lilo without. There it is. Mischievous cat's coming down. What would you do here, J-Bomb? Do you take away the resist from the Rhino? Do you try to pick off some of the smaller bodies? What would you do?
Probably this turn, take as much lore off the board as possible, and then maybe take out the stronger character next turn. It's a tough decision here. So Riley's going to take the time, make sure the calculation's right. And I like the Elsa going into the Willow And then we'd likely move 2 damage onto the... So we basically have 2 options. We can go and take out the large rhino, or we can move 2 damage on either the small rhino and then go into Lilo, or we could... or basically it's either we're going on the small rhino, the Lilo, or the big rhino, and then figuring out how we want to trade after that, because everything else is the 3 lore, so the Doc, Troob, and other Troob are going to be safe.
Yeah. You could move damage onto the Troubadour, and then you'd have enough to hit it with the Hades. It's probably not your primary target, especially with a second one sitting in the wings. So it looks like we are taking it off the Elsa. We are going to go ahead and weaken that Rhino. So I'm assuming Hades. Trades. Yeah, he's going to go and trade in with him. The old Trades. Or no?
Okay.
So I think we're still deciding. Looks like we took 2 from Hades, which obviously is going to get banished anyway.
Okay, so Riley's opting to leave the 4 damage on the Elsa so he can get more guaranteed Cheshire Cats over the next few turns, it seems.
Yeah. At first I was like, wait a minute, why would you do that? But yeah, that makes more sense, as we're actually just hoping to hold this ammo.
Yeah, so interesting. That is not a play I considered, but very, very interesting. I haven't seen that done a lot, but I'm curious to see how it will play out, because with the amount of characters Lycos has, if she has the strength or the Thunderbolt, the 2 damage isn't going to matter, and then all the characters have 1 strength. So I do really like this play.
We are going to go on a mighty quest, as we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should jump us all the way up to 13. And while we do have the book sitting there for extra card draw, we're going to have to just... So essentially we can answer 3 characters, right? With damage removal, with the Elsa attack, and with the cat attack.
And now we're at the kind of predicament where we need to take out this Lilo, but taking out the Lilo lets other characters survive another day, and that's kind of just negating the 2 lore we take off. So it's always a tough decision. It's let them have another lore or clear the board of more characters.
Yeah. A card like Into the Unknown, Hades, Let It Go could permanently put that Lilo out of commission, but I don't know if we have that. We're going to crack our book. Go ahead and take a look, read a book. It's a reading rainbow, and draw 2 cards.
Oh, yeah. All right. And so notably, that does let us have enough ink if we want to Hades, but I assume we are always Cheshire Catting this turn, because that's going to take off the same amount of lore as the Hades.
Yeah.
And so we do see the Cheshire Cat move, and likely going to go to the Lilo or the Readied Rhino.
Will be the Readied Rhino. J-Bomb Demona is always such a liability in these matchups. It's like you can almost never play her because you don't want to give them 3 cards in hand. Tigger's pretty solid. Okay, so we can go ahead and bounce the Lilo, say, hey, you're going to have to pay to replay that.
Tigger actually a great answer to the Lilo, as it slows it down and takes the lore off the board.
Yeah, and a good threat to the Troubadours too, as it can take the Troubadours at 1 hit. Cat is going to want to hit Doc here and then send Elsa into the Rhino.
Yep. And so a really, really great turn from Riley, about as good as he could have done with his ink limitation.
Wait, did we not challenge with the Elsa?
Interesting. We did not challenge with the Elsa.
Was that I wonder if that was a mistake or if there's some plan here.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
That might matter. If it comes down to like 1 lore, that could really make a difference.
Yeah, I'm not sure the reasoning there. I'd love to pick Riley's brain after the game on that. Because I don't... Well, previously I saw his mindset on the extra damage on the Elsa. I don't see the not challenging there. What could crack back and punish you?
Yeah. I mean, that legit could just be a slip, because the Elsa can't be return damaged, and well, we'll see if it matters. So we're going to go ahead and quest for 3 on Lycos' side, go up to 16. I think we are out of cards in hand, or do we have? Yeah, okay, that's the Inkwell. So that's the nice thing. At least your opponent is in top deck mode. Yeah. But now you've got to really answer nearly every threat that's coming down.
But unlike the previous match, she only drew a Willow, whereas Habibi got the Doc into Willow and another character.
Yeah. Oh, that might be our last Dumbo. Poor Dumbo has just been an Inkwell card so far, but sometimes he's too slow. You can't afford to get him out. Is Hades going to come down and say, is there a downside to this? And send Lilo packing.
Yeah. And Lycos is going to be a dock and a dream away. Going to need to channel Habibi and get the same outcome there because her board is cleared.
This isn't going to be a clear board. Tigger's going to go out and give the Troubadour the uppercut into oblivion as the cat will take out the Rhino. And this is the power of Blurple when it gets set up.
All right. And so everyone here, we're rooting for a dock if we want this game to have exciting. And Akud is one of the
that's pretty good
great draws, right?
Akud into dock. Ooh, not a great not a great draw there.
If I was Lycos and I see the Cheshire Cat with 2 damage and this Rhino's here, I probably just hold the Rhino next turn so I can play 2 characters because we already know it's free basically for Riley to take it out on this board already.
Yeah. I was glad you made that observation. I was thinking that too. I was like, man, that Cheshire is just like holding the damage, just waiting to launch it at you. And it says, nope, I won't even need that. I'll just stock up even more damage so that the next thing you put over, I can move. And this match has turned around very quickly.
Yeah. And so just a plethora of resources for Riley here and answers after answer. And we do see 2, and 2 is not the dock this turn.
Not the dock. That is Angel.
And like the daytime soap operas, that is going to be all she wrote.
Yep, we'll go to 19 here, and there's just nothing Lycos is going to be able to do about it. Are 1 shy of the victory, but again, there'll be no way to clear the board. We will go ahead and boost, just take out this Angel. He actually moved the die onto Hades. It looks like Hades should be banished right now. That's funny.
Yeah.
And just as a little revenge says, oh, you think you can go wide? Let me show you what a wide Blurple board looks like.
Oh, yeah. Blurple doing what Blurple does. You never want to let it get the board once because it's very hard to take the board back from Blurple if you do not have a board clear.
And that just showing the power of that Cheshire Cat, man, that the manipulating that damage is so impactful against this deck.
Yeah, and I see people cut cats off of 4, and I was like, no, don't do that. Cat's just so good.
It is. And it's inkable, so at its worst, you just tuck it into the inkwell.
I am quite biased, though, because I do have a giant Cheshire Cat tattooed on my back, so it is one of my favorite cards.
It is a good one. I was playing against I was playing an older deck and I had the White Rose against it, and I was like, man, my White Rose can't even challenge this thing. It's 3/4 and inkable and has this busted ability. Like, holy cow, someone love this card.
Yeah, it's like a turret that just sits there, but unlike Prince John, you can actually choose it with your choices there to take out. And so it's a very, very unfair and fair card at the same time because it just has a very powerful ability.
Yeah.
But it's so strong in those situations where you're both like kind of stabilizing and have these big boards and one person's questing and one person's taking value trades. It really just accelerates your comeback mechanism on those value trades.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now, are you a fan of these 3-2-1 camera cuts? What's your go-to? Are you 1-2-3 guy, a 3-2-1, a 2-3-1?
I usually just say just cut it in half. It's fine. Like I know. I appreciate people want to keep like the integrity of the spirit, but I always feel like, if you want to cheat me on a webcam game, whatever, go ahead. So I'll usually say just cut it in half. That's fine.
Yeah, I like 3 cards from the top to the bottom, spin the deck around twice, then put the bottom card back on top.
That's how you do it. You go like, all right, you got a jar of mayo. Okay, go ahead and spread some of that on the top card. Tuck it into the bottom. Yeah. Stop eating my card. Your opponent is delicious.
If Rascal's in the chat, I did see him at a set champ. His opponent sat down and a White Castle spilled out of his opponent's bag and rolled onto his playmat and cards. And Rascal
did it really?
Was so defeated. He's like, you got grease all over my stuff.
See, that would have been all right. Well, I'm eating that burger. That one's mine now. It touched my cards.
All right. And now we are shuffling up. Now, Riley, big fan of that method. Lycos has a good shuffling method as well. Ed, probably my favorite shuffler of all time. Just a very, very clean and like angled shuffle. And so
Yeah. I like how fast Ed plays. I like that he's always just like boom, boom, go. And then
Yeah.
he sets his cards down there and wait. Because that's how I play. I don't do the hand shuffle. I'm always just I'll set and I'll just sit and wait. So
yeah. And that's also a good habit too, because then you're not focused on your hand or whatever. You're focused on your opponent. And then they have
you're actually watching what they're doing.
Yeah, you have much less opportunity for them to take advantage of any sleight of hand situations. Not saying a lot of people do, but it's always good to just prevent the opportunities for things like that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We are in a full agreement there, J-Bomb.
As an accountant, that's one of our parts of the fraud triangle.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, opportunity. Always prevent the opportunity.
Surely you have some kind of like acronym or some kind of words that I'm sure you've got pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not for that. That one's just called the fraud triangle.
Oh, okay. A fraud triangle. As we see a Stitch get inked and Mr. Rhino, coming down turn 1.
And funny enough, Stitch is actually one of the most powerful cards in this matchup. If you were to Akud that out on turn 3, Blurple has very limited options in dealing with that, and you're usually going to draw 1 to 2 cards from the Stitch.
Yeah, especially with 5 willpower, they tend to not have a ton of characters that can challenge it. So you're almost forcing them to have to use Let It Go, Hades, Into the Unknown, one of those spot removal effects.
And there goes Benja to the Inkwell, who is not great in this matchup. It does have some fringe use cases where it can hit a book, so it's not totally useless. It's also got 2 lore for a 3-quester, so it's not the worst. But obviously, we've got better cards for this matchup.
Yeah,
so
I'm assuming we're anticipating in case we've run into dogs in the Chromicon.
Yeah. And so I'm actually surprised to see Benja. A lot of people have been on the Pluto because of its multi-use abilities of ganging lore and taking out items.
Perhaps too expensive. We will see. We actually just naturally played that Angel last turn, so this is definitely a slower start than I'm used to seeing from Amber Steel. Not that busted Akud and Angel turn 2 version.
But hey, we're on turn 3. This would be a nice turn to Akud and play the Snowboard Stitch. And can I just give a shout out to Ravensburger? They are really having fun with all their Stitch cards. Like a lot of the characters, they get these like kind of normal to their character designs, and they're just like, send Stitch on a Rockstar, send him on a snowboard, send him surfing. He's just having the most fun in Lorcana over any other card.
Yeah, you can usually tell when it's a character. It's like somebody likes this character because they always give it really fun, enjoyable things to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got the Akud, just like you called. We'll see if we have the Stitch. Probably not, because we're tapping our 2 ink now. Exerting
Another
2
Angel?
ink.
Or are we going Ariel?
Maybe even Rhino? Oh, it's the bodyguard. Okay, it's the Chief.
Chief, very strong in this matchup early. It kind of loses its luster once they get the Hades and Into the Unknowns and other items online, or other cards online. But right now, it is going to be a powerhouse that allow this Rhino and Angel to quest freely.
Yeah, absolutely. The only way to get rid of it with this turn by challenging would be to use like a book to boost the Royal Guard up to 4 and then hit him and the Tipo into the Chief. But then again, you're giving up your whole board.
Funny that you say that, because I've seen a lot of games where Royal Guard has just soloed the Chief just because of how many cards they've drawn. And so it's kind of the bane of the existence. I know DKP took out Sky's Chief with a Royal Guard at Brazil in one of the later rounds. And
wow.
Like it's absolutely backbreaking play for the Amber Steel player.
Yeah, anytime he's on the field and Demona comes down, you're just like, well, and that guard just gets massive, and here comes Tigger with the hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Goes ahead and sends Angel packing. We will cut off that singer. Granted, the Chief could sing anything we really want to, but Tigger a pretty solid way to answer the Chief, as well as Tigger and Tipo could go in together if they wanted to. Yeah.
Tigger is just an all-around like good card, because we used to play Befuddle, which is the same thing without a body, and so it does what Blurple exactly was kind of missing on turn 3, was having some tempo swing.
Yeah, actually affect the board instead of just here's Iago, I hope he survives a turn.
Yeah.
And then... It's a
Oh.
funny card too, because like at my locals, a lot of people play Sapphire. So in the Sapphire meters, like it feels worthless. It's like there's nothing for this thing to even hit. But then and you get matches like this, you're like, oh man, Tigger is so clutch.
Yeah, it's really, really funny against Emerald Sapphire because they Tigger your Clarabelle and they're like, haha, you can't shift. And you're like, buddy, I played Cinderella. I can still play it in shift.
Yeah, right.
All right, Akud again. And here we go. What will it be this time?
Is it finally the Stitch? And hello to the person in chat who called my name out. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching, supporting the ICL this wonderful Wednesday here in May. It is Angel, but not. I messed up. I've been baited. But Angel is coming out. And Willow, pretty nice card to throw since it's uninkable. We'll go ahead and pick off that Royal Guard. Say, no damage boost for you, sir. I don't think so.
All right, and then we ink. So this is a bit of a slower start for Lycos, and Riley is just having kind of the cards you want on the draw as Blurple to stay in it, and also would be okay here.
I like Hades most.
Yeah, Hades would be very good. Hades and Into the Unknown, which is what Riley did on turn 4 last game, would be a extremely powerful play as it was last game as well.
Yeah, and I think the Hades drew into the unknown. So will it be? Where are we gonna see that deal?
There's 5, so we for sure have a Hades or an Elsa.
Yeah. I don't love Elsa here. I guess you could Elsa follow up, have Tigger and Tipo trade into the Chief, and then Elsa picks off the Rhino, but I don't love that.
It's not the worst. Just leaving them with only an Angel and you being on 5 ink and then kind of running out. It's not the worst. So it's better than other options, I suppose. And so I'm fine taking that because as long as they're not going extremely wide, we're in a great position.
Right. It does control the board. Riley taking the time to really consider this option. Very much. I wonder if it's a choice. I wonder if we have both Elsa and Hades, and we're trying to decide, okay, what play do I do here?
Yeah. And here we go. It's
actually
a Cheshire Cat. And we're just going to boost it. And are we going to take the Chief out or not?
So I've seen a lot of players do this, and perhaps you can give some insight. What is the reasoning behind just boosting these cards just cause? Is it, on the offhand chance it gets sent to my hand, or hey, if it goes to the inkwell, it'll always like it. I just find it interesting. I almost always do it.
Yeah, right. It's exactly as you said. There's the off chance it bounces to your hand, it goes to the inkwell. I'm not sure Riley's playing anything in his own deck that bounces, and against Amber Steel, they're not going to send it to your inkwell. So it's mostly probably just a good habit to be in to make sure that you're always thinking about that and just kind of keep the reps because this isn't going to be a game that goes to deck out. But it's a very low % chance, but it is a good habit to have.
Potentially looking for a strength here. We could sing this strength and then throw our last card in hand. Throw the Troubadour, or if we have the strength, we could throw this Troubadour, then get the cat off the field, and then you would have a pretty clear board. Not putting on a ton of lore pressure, but do we have that combo? Because I think we have exactly 2 in hand. You do not want to just freely throw snowballs at this cat, though. It will catch him in its teeth and right back at you.
Yeah, that's always the scary part about like pre-sending in snowballs that you can't finish the character off against Amethyst decks because then the Cheshire Cat just throws it back, and then all of a sudden you discarded a card to deal 2 damage to your own character.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone would play Angel if she read that way.
Oh, there'd be some people.
Yeah, that's true. Someone would.
They want their Ohana value.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you could set up for Ohana. So we inked a card, and I don't know if we have a 1-drop. We might just wait here. Yeah, just pass. Not going to expose. Not going to give any free cat triggers.
No, kitty.
Elsa is a lot more appealing on this turn, although you wouldn't be able to boost. And actually, here comes Demona. The big gargoyle comes down, exerts the board. We're going to draw 2. Opponent draws 1, I think. Or do they have 3? No. Lycos has 3. Yeah, so Demona, perfect timing. Cat's going to go in, pick off Angel. Do not have enough to boost it, so Cat probably won't be long for this world, but still pretty solid play from our enemy gargoyle.
Yeah, and I agree with the trade. A lot of people might have been like, I want to get more value out of this Cheshire Cat, but when you can take an angel, you take that angel.
Yeah, and you're likely going to take another body as well. Like you're all right if this also picks off Nani or Rhino.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very, very happy. Riley's firmly in the driver's seat of this game. Lycos has almost no lore and equalized in cards with not owning the board right now. And so this is going to be a tough clawback of a game.
Yeah, that Demona is a great man. Demona, that card is so. There's so many times Demona feels so backbreaking, like it did there, and other times you're like, I can't play it. It just gives them a bunch of cards, which I can't afford.
Oh man. Woo.
Mowgli getting a preview of his doom of, okay, so how exactly am I going to lose this game? Ah, there we go. Devil Hades and Demona.
Yeah. That it was not a good trailer for Lycos here. As
I don't like this movie.
Oh man, she's just not hitting the cards in the right order and getting songs to take out these characters. Just a lot of average plays where Riley just sort of did. The only weak turn he really had was the Cheshire Cat turn, and other than that, it's just been a very, very nice fluid curve.
Yeah, and that's something that even plagued this deck pre-rotation was, for as strong as Steel Song was when it got those really cracked openings, you would see games where it just saw stuff in the wrong order and it just didn't do anything. And it looks like Lycos is kind of struggling with that on this game.
Oh yeah, and it is time for the onslaught of Hades to come in. We've got Demona cracking the Nani. Hades taking out the Troubadour. It will not be a special at Truby Tuesdays today because that Troubadour is gone.
And poor Mowgli's just sitting there coming out from under that branch like, guys, little alone here. What's going on?
Alrighty. And our first step to clawing back is playing this Ariel, but she is not long for this world. She's unfortunately going to just be like the movie, have her voice stolen by Hades.
Yeah, I wonder if, I don't know what else we had in hand, but I wonder if there's something else we could have played to try to bait out the Hades and then try to save the Ariel, because here's something you could have done too is, if we talked about this with Cheshire Cat, right? If you boosted the Ariel, you'd get one extra card in your Inkwell. I don't know what that's going to be worth at this point, but
yeah, it's still one more ink, and one more ink is better than not one more ink. And so we definitely probably wanted to boost there just because we would have had more ability to play all of the cards in our hand. And you know, when you go on these Nani Doctrines, you can use all that ink.
Yeah, you really can. Maybe we have a second Ariel. We are exerting 4. And nope, it'll be Rhino this time. Pretty resilient to the Hades, as they cannot take him out in one challenge. Demona, unfortunately for Rhino, can. As Mowgli's going to try to get one lore that we can, but we're so when you're dead even with lore at 5-4, like that's not where you want to be if you're Amber Steel versus Purple.
Yeah, Mowgli was basically saying, I want to take the lead for the last time.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it, J-Bomb. I like that. As we see sail into a book, we're going to crack the book, draw 2 cards.
And now that Riley has just put on all of this pressure, he's taking a turn off to redevelop his resources and gather some cards here. And then he's going to set up a Cheshire Cat, which is basically going to lock Lycos out of this game. And
and we go ahead and ink the extra Dumbo too with the sail. Go on a quest. Don't even bother. The disrespect to Mowgli, saying, go ahead, stay there, boy. I don't care if you quest.
Yeah. Get out of there, man cub.
Yeah, right. It would be interesting to see the old version of the deck with Whole New World against a card like Demona, right? Because you could forcibly, hey, it's actually frozen now unexpectedly, but there's no way for this version of the deck, unless it's running Beyond the Horizon. I guess that's the only way it could do it.
I have played a lot of Infinity games against Blurple, and I have weirdly never had that situation come up yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we do get the Chief in. I mean, he can't take out the Hades. As a matter of fact, Hades can take him out with the Cheshire Cat sitting there locked and loaded. Maybe you want to trade in the Rhino just to get the damage out of there. I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. I guess Hades could still just crash in and then shift the damage, so maybe that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think this game is just sort of autopilot and is going to be over in 2 turns, 2 to 3 turns, no matter what Lycos does.
Yeah, because there's no good plays here. There's no way to come back against characters with this much willpower and strength. And now, if Riley falls asleep and leaves all the characters ready on the next turn, we actually are going to take that trade. Rhino will trade with the Demona. The cat will now have no active damage to move, but if we want to get rid of this, and we don't even need to get rid of the chief, right? We can just quest in front of it and say, hey, you do something about it. Like,
we can just quest to 15, set up for game next turn, and be in good shape here. And then, draw your 2. I can't lose my character.
Yeah. The third Hades comes down. We'll draw 2. Sail. Another Hades. Another one. We'll go ahead and draw another 2. Don't mind if we do.
I hope you like Hercules, audience, because we got all of the Hades here.
Absolutely. And this chief can't even challenge, right? It doesn't have that ability. So,
right.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do about this. Lycos needs a B prep off the top, which doesn't exist. Not in these colors or even in this rotation format. And we will give one more Rhino. Raging Storm is an amber. That is a good point. But I very doubt we are running that in a song list.
And now we scoop those cards up because Riley takes this game in a pretty decisive 2-0 here.
Yeah, on the draw both times too.
Yeah. The first game was very close, but this one Riley just had a great start, and Lycos had a pretty average to slow start from the Amber Steel side. And let's welcome Luke to the booth, looking snazzy as ever. Has a fun tie on.
A fun tie. Always a fun tie. Pretty good match there. If you're a Blurple enjoyer, you probably quite enjoyed that. If you're an Amber Steel stan, yeah, that was kind of torture.
Yeah, that was rough. You need to go back and watch the first round.
Yeah, it's like, gotta go watch Elias play to get that endorphins boost as an Amber Steel fan.
Every time I watch a BB, I think he's out of the game, and then he's just like, oh, whole new world off the top, or knock into 2 other things. He's got the magic in him.
The dock chain. Don't mind if I do. Do you think, J-Bomb, do you think there's anything that could have been done differently in that match by Lycos, or was that just like, you just saw cards in a bad order?
That was, she just didn't have a lot of songs to gain advantage and didn't have the extremely powerful plays. She had a Cood game too, but really didn't have the aerial or the stitch to go. Like, the Chief was fine, but she just didn't have enough pressure with all that to take the game before Riley was able to stabilize and kind of fight back. So
yeah,
needed a few more of those songs early on to do some stuff here.
There doesn't seem like much of a middle ground with these Steel Song decks. It seems like they either just destroy you or they just do nothing.
Yeah.
We're going to get a wonderful interview, Luke.
I'm trying to set that up right now. We're just waiting for... Oh,
I hear something.
All right, well, I'm going to pop that over to you two to chit-chat with Riley.
Hey.
Right.
Hey.
Congratulations, Riley, on your big win. I got to ask, game 1, you had an Elsa readied and left the opponent's exerted Rhino up. Was there a reason for not challenging the Rhino there?
It was a 1/5. He minused it, or she minused it.
Okay, that's what we missed. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there had to be a reason.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, and we never saw like a finger point. Like, no one went like, so I completely forgot about that effect.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Now we feel better. We're like, Riley, no.
I would have challenged then, believe me, if I.
Well, that's what we thought. We were like, well, maybe there's some reason we weren't aware of it. That there was. That was the reason.
Yeah, it made it a little awkward that turn. That's why I was kind of thinking.
Yeah. Well, good job clawing back though. Congratulations on your win. The second one was a little more dominant by you, but that first one looked like you were in trouble there for a moment, and you just held on and clawed your way back into it. You want to kind of walk us through what was going through your mind, or?
I really need my opponent to draw nothing for like 3-4 turns, and I was like, I got this. This is locked up. This is locked up in 3 turns of dead draws. And I'm
Yeah.
used to the steel players just drawing the dock off the top like right away.
Yeah.
So that was
So
fortunate
baby.
not to see that. Yeah, fortunate not to see that. So that's basically all that happened there.
Yeah.
And I got a really nice turn where I think I got rid of 5 characters in 1 turn, something like
Yeah,
that.
that was brutal.
Yeah.
That was nice. The Tigger came down really clutch too, bouncing the Lilo and delaying its lore and everything. Like that was really nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite card in Blurple? Like what's especially out of the newer cards, like a card like Tigger, because we talked about that, and I was saying how in the right matchup, Tigger feels amazing, and it's such a better turn 4 play than the Iago or the Genie because it actively like does something the turn it comes down. But also in like the blue mirrors, it feels like it has no targets. So I guess talk to me about Tigger.
Yeah, I mean, he is like just like a 4-3 anyways, even if you can't in the Blurple matchup, sometimes you can kind of bounce your own TPO and ink it, so you're kind of like replacing it with a 4-3. So it's not always bad in the mirror matchup. Of course, you'd rather just ink it and play something else, but worst comes to worst, you can still play it.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if you're on the play versus like Amber Steel and you bounce their Troubadour, like their turn or whatever they played, it's insane. So
Nice.
yeah, I like it.
All right, I got to ask, you guys are basically unstoppable in the ICL. It's kind of an unprecedented run. What is the secret sauce that your team does to just win week in and week out every week?
You have to come play in store, obviously. Look at that.
Right?
Everyone's here. That's the magic, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we just do very well and practice.
Are you guys actually at a locals right now? Do you guys get a bye when you have to play, or how does it work?
Yeah. So it was round 2 when we're playing. It basically mirrors exactly the schedule. So I was facing Carrie somewhere back there, and she just got the bye for this round. That's how it works. And then we come up here, play, and then round 3, I got another game I have to go to.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Do you have to use the same deck you play on stream, or do you get to switch it up?
No, we're playing Infinity this week, so I've like
Gotcha.
take my TPOs and sales out of this, get them in my other deck quick, and then
Yeah.
then play. Yeah.
Yeah, then you're just gotta like switch the brain real quick
I know,
from
it's like-
Infinity to Core.
Get greedy, get even more greedy. Red blue items.
So
Yeah.
since you're a Blurple player, do tell, we have Wilds Unknown pre-release coming out this weekend. Are there any cards initially that you think that's worth trying in Blurple? Even if it ends up getting cut from the list, is there anything you're like, I want to try this in Blurple, see how it performs?
I mean, the obvious answer is Mayweather, but everyone's talking about that. So.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to see everyone get so excited for a card with only one line of text, but hey, the word's that powerful, right?
The best vanilla text like ever.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like Ward is just, I don't know, a little bit too strong in this game right now, but we'll see
Yeah.
if they can maybe balance it in the next coming sets a little better with some more effects that make your opponent maybe get rid of something of their own. Some self-banish effects, I guess is what they're called. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really truly surprising in my limited testing just how strong Merryweather is into the field with its strength and willpower. Like it's just the perfect numbers for turn 3.
Yeah.
The 5 is just crazy. The 5 willpower. I think that's like if it was a 4/4 ward, it's like okay, it's so good, but like the 5 is just even in Infinity, we're playing it now. It's like you can challenge into even just my McDucks and it's an even trade or like you're up. Yeah,
that's huge. That's absolutely huge. J-Bomb, any other questions you wanted to throw at him?
No, just congratulations for locking up the first seed. Is there any shout outs you want to say before you get out of here?
Just my teammates helping always grind the ladder and things like that, practice with each other. Endgame, Twin Moons are sponsors, and of course Enter the Battlefield.
Awesome.
They're pretty awesome. Yeah.
Major congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Great
Looking
talking to
around
you,
3
buddy.
at your locals.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right. Well, we are back in the booth, but only for a few moments here. We're going to jump into another game, but Rude Rose, I do believe you are heading out.
That is correct. Thank you for having me on. Happy to fill in. Always feel free to ask. J-Bomb, I've never gotten a cast with you before. That was fun. So I hope we get to do it again sometime. Good luck. Find me at Rudros TCG on YouTube. You can follow me on X at Marvels_the. I always appreciate the ICL having me on, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
All right, they were kind of already in it, but this is game 3 here. Amber Steel mirror match. It is a day of Amber Steel, and we're not even in Infinity yet, and everyone's all about it already.
Yeah, and I actually see a surprising card on Amity's board with the Lilo. Not a card I see often in core. I know probably actually pretty strong in a matchup like this where you're kind of holding your characters back, and it looks like Amity does have the board right now, and so I wonder if it's off of the back of that Lilo. And funny enough, the alien triggers or the alien text of the Lilo will come in handy. We've got 2 aliens on board, Luke.
Yeah, like this Lilo mixed with Angel is looking terrifying. She's going to discard whatever she draws if you're not going to play it, shoot something down. Well, now Lilo is not long for this world. She's going to be banished by the opposing Angel. She was helping too many aliens out, and that's just not the way it works in these parts. But if we didn't have an answer for Lilo, you are very correct. Like the Lilo and Angel teaming up to just like dominate this board.
Yeah, discard your hand to 0, get resist 2, take out whatevs.
You know, I bet if he had the Enchanted in play, Alex wouldn't have drawn the Angel. I think that's how it works. Enchanteds give you deflection and resist and plus damage, spell damage. Song damage. We'll call it song damage. I can't wait for that. Like give me a Sebastian that just like your cards that like your songs deal an additional damage. Your songs that deal damage, deal or place damage, do it an additional 1 or something. I don't know how to properly word that. I have concepts, not rules, I guess.
Yes.
But it's kind of a clear board now. Alex did like a decent job, a little bit of a great equalizer.
Yes, and we are
Nani?
playing the Nani, which great in a grindy matchup like Amber Steel versus Amber Steel, where a lot of the times the Amber Steel matchup, it's not truly a grindy one, but in the mirror match, it's either really fast or really long.
Yep, and this Nani grabbing a Willow, obviously she would have preferred to grab a Dock if we didn't already have one in hand. Apparently that last card in hand was just an Along Came Zeus, but that's also pretty good as we pitch the Willow and sing the Zeus, taking out the opposing Angel and Willow and just quest away.
And so notably, this Angel is actually going to be very difficult for Alex to answer because Amity has no cards in hand, and the magic number for Amber Steel is 4. And with it being 5 after the resist, that is 1 more than 4 and much harder to deal with. And Alex is going to take a not ideal turn by just playing or hard casting the Akud, which is something you never want to do, especially on only 3 ink, and then playing out Troubadour. This is going to be an uphill battle for him.
Yeah, he kind of had a good chance there, but Amenity having that Thunderbolt just hurled Alex's chances out the window of coming back in this game, I think.
Yeah, and another one. So there will be no singing for Alex at this game, and now the lore is going to start to be problematic, even if Alex can fight back. It's got 4 cards, which if he had to hardcast Akud last turn, it's likely a handful, chock full of songs there.
Songs and uninkables. Where Amenity is like, I have 4 ink. That's the world. Like she would literally need to draw like that card that Alex just inked, Snowboarder Stitch here, to not have something to do. But she still has that Angel, so she could still just do whatever she wanted.
Oh, so Alex's hand not as dead as I anticipated, but just having an Akud, a Willow, a Dock, so just more uninkables than songs, but looks like it was 2 Akuds that were stuck in his hand last turn.
Akud is an insanely powerful card, but unlike Sail, you can't ink it. So sometimes you just get flooded with 2 or 3 of them in your hand. You can't ink and they answer your Singer, or you use the first one and they challenge it down. And then you don't want to lose your big character. You cheated into play. We don't need to sing or play this strength. Let's
Yeah.
just discard it to the angel. Oh, a little technical difficulty. We lost Alex's camera for a second. Oh.
And we shall be right back, folks.
I mean, it's quite possible that there was a concession there. Both players turned their cameras off and left. So maybe it was, yep, that's it, and we're done.
Okay.
I think that's what happened right there. So we'll cop back to the booth.
All right. And so Amity takes that one in 2-1 against the Loungers.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume from being at 12 lore, having characters in play, and the opponent having nothing in play.
Yeah. And then just the 2 dock draws. So, yep, a hard-fought battle, but Amity and the Lucky Dimes takes that match.
They still haven't reported it yet. Trying to see if we have another match to jump into that we want to watch. I think they're getting ready for round 3.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, what card are you most excited for in the new set?
Asking me questions while doing production. Quite a few. Not Dale. Not
No,
Dale.
I said not Dale as well. He is disappointing so far. A lot of people love him. not
He's
me.
good. He's been good for my opponents, and he has not been good for me.
Yeah, I played him in 25 games, and I used him once, and then he immediately got under the seed.
That link right there will take you to the bracket, and you can check out the standings. You know, I'm going to pick out exactly who and what we want to watch in this third round since ETB took this match 2-0. We're going to try to find a match that has a fun play out. And we've watched only Amber Steel. Should I try to find another Amber Steel mirror?
Do we have anything with implications on the seeding or bracket?
Just for seeding, Division 2 was actually locked in last week. Sunflower Illumineers here are in 8th place. Even if they lose to ETB, they have locked it in.
Yeah, I actually took my first loss in ICL history last night.
Bruh. I'm disappointed.
It was a tough one. I thought I had it. I kept 7 in game 3. Was feeling good. And it didn't go my way. But it's been a good run so far, so I'm excited for the playoffs and I'm very excited for next week off.
Yeah, the playoffs are going to be intense. The first 2 weeks of the playoffs are going to be just on Wednesdays. So we're not going to have ICL on a Tuesday for 2 weeks. And then it's the top 16 and the top 8 are a Wednesday. And then the top 4 and the finals are on Tuesdays.
Okay. Got to switch up the day I'm playing. We've been having good luck on Tuesdays.
Well, hopefully you make it to the finals, then you'll continue to have good luck on Tuesdays.
True that.
And not troublesome Tuesdays, some Truby Tuesdays, some might say.
Yeah, there we go on Truby Tuesday. Alrighty. ICL on a Wednesday. What are the standings? Can we go over them for bracket 2? What do we got? We've got ETB in 1st, Sunflower in 8th.
Well, I had posted that link in chat, and then we'll go over. So ETB in 1st place, and then Friendly Neighborhood currently in 2nd, with Lorcana Lazy Boys in 3rd. Emperor's New Crew snagging that 4th place for that top 4 finish, with Inc. currently in 5th, Select Few in 6th, Triad in 7th, and the Sunflower Illumineers in 8th. Now, technically, Triad and Select Few, who we're about to watch,
Okay.
They basically are playing to see who gets a slightly higher seed here, assuming that the match isn't fully over. I'm watching it for one reason, and that is because Beefcake's on screen.
Ooh,
And how
big
can
fan
you
of
not
Beefcake.
watch Beefcake? Although I'm mad at his webcam right now, that's for sure.
All
And
right.
they're starting up right about now, it looks like.
Ooh, starting a game with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left.
Yeah, that's how that works, I do believe.
Oh, nope, it's back to 59. Oh, this is round 3. Okay. We're starting round 3. Got it. All right, we've got momentum on the Salty Ducks against Beefcake for select few. I've been a big fan of Beefcake. He always likes to play Sapphire decks, and we'll see if today is any different. He's been a Sapphire Steel guy, a Ruby items proponent. I actually played him both days of the last World Class Cards double 5K event, playing him in round 2 both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and he's playing against Mike Maloof, known as Momentum, known as Hayes Big Papa, the father of the Blurple Master, one of the masters. There's a few. It is nice that a few people have made a nice name playing certain archetypes, and then people kind of look at that. You can get to see JDRR was on the Blurple train for a really long time, and then Habibi would be mad at me if I don't mention him and how famous he is for playing dogs. And then, myself for playing Amber Steel. I don't know who else would play Amber Steel.
I didn't know Habibi was a dog guy. I thought he was an Amber Steel guy. I thought Diego was the dog guy.
Well, see, he played dogs once, and that was the joke,
Yeah.
J-Bomb. That was the joke.
Got it. Yeah. All righty. Do we know who is on the play for this one?
I'm checking right now. The timer actually hasn't started for this round.
Gotcha. Okay, so it will be resetting to 60, and there it goes now. Right on cue.
Almost if I have power over it.
Oh, we're having fun here.
Yeah, that Prince Eric is a 6-7 indeed. I don't know how he's a 6-7 as he's a 6-6, but Eric is a 6-7. I was thinking Philip. It is one of the new meme cards. It feels like every set we're getting a 6-7 willpower strength character.
Oh, the real question is, was 6-7 popular when they designed this card? Because the meme is only like a year old at this point? I guess that'd be like kind of around the timing. It's
a little bit older than that, I do believe.
I remember Wonder, I'm an old, so the memes don't get to me until late in the game. So
if you keep crinkling that, I'm
Sorry.
Triad took round 1. And Triad's actually won this whole match. So we are just watching this for the decks. And hopefully you will see why once play begins.
The old Blurple mirror?
Yep. I made sure to find us a Blurple mirror.
I'm guessing Blurple versus Sapphire Steel. But we shall find out, I suppose.
I think we might have been waiting on one last match to finish before we started. Possibly. I can't do math.
Got it. Oh, and Beefcake playing on the Ink Bounty mat, which one of my favorite mats. There's been a lot of good mats that the Lorcana community has made, and this one was just very, very on point for Winter Spell. Oh, interesting. I see. We're seeing an Amber Ruby locations deck, And it looks like Beefcake needs to read this card.
I
Elsa
mean,
5/5.
I need to read this card.
Throw it up on the screen, Luke. Let's see what we got. Let's show the audience.
This is the legendary one, correct?
The legendary one that pops into locations and getting a bunch of lore. Yes,
Elsa
it is.
Ice Artisan, a 6-cost 5/5 shift 4 quest for 1. Wow. When you play this character and whenever you play a location, you may exert chosen character with 3 strength or less. While this character's at a location, she gains +3 lore. So she's going to be questing for 4 math. Like I said, not good at it.
I think Beefcake inked a blue card, but I'm
looks
not.
like... I want to say it looks like a Pete, but I'm pretty sure that's a 1 jump ahead in his discard.
That I thought it was a 1 jump.
Woo.
Is this? It looks like is this Emerald cards and something? There's a Clarabelle, a Donald, a Prince Philip, and a unknown. Oh no, 2 Prince Philips. Okay, so we got small PP, big PP, Donald, and Clarabelle.
Yep. And Beefcake is known for playing Sapphire Steel, but also known for playing Mama Odie and Ink Geyser.
He really likes control decks.
You can't really blame him.
They're fun. You know, the best part about control decks is you're never out of the game until your opponent hits 20. And that's kind of what my favorite part of control decks are, is just you have this ability to just turn the corner. And if they're 19, I haven't heard the bell yet. There's ways to just deal.
You know, in an old saying from previous games, reworked into Lorcana, your opponent's lore is a resource. You can let them quest instead of answering their characters immediately sometimes if you're able to stop the tempo there. So we're going to see whether or not Beefcake is able to slow down momentum. But do you know what Prince Philip combo doesn't do? It
does not take out the locations.
No, it doesn't. It challenges them, but it does not take them out.
Yeah, and these locations are very, very hard for Emerald Sapphire, because Emerald Sapphire, probably one of the least board present decks in the history of Lorcana, if I'm being honest, that just doesn't play a lot of characters, and it hopes to win the game by doing this Prince Philip combo and then gassing your opponent out and just questing and 2 to 3 turns after that with like the 2 or 3 characters you have. But we've got Donald Duck, which is one of the most unique cards in Lorcana's history, and it's been a staple in a lot of these slower decks, slower Emerald decks since set 2, allowing both characters to draw, because specifically why it's good in this Emerald Sapphire is it's an extreme combo deck where it's, if you don't draw these combo pieces, you're just going to lose. And so giving your opponent's cards doesn't really matter too much, because you need to get to 9 ink and you need to have the resources to be able to play all of your combo and get to 9 ink, which is just an exorbitant amount of resources if you're trying to hyper do that quickly before turn 9.
And Momentum here is able to play a couple of cards a turn here. I mean, 1 card, then 2 cards, and then 2 cards. So this way, if the Clarabelle comes down, we've lowered our hand size, while also saying, you know, if you're going to challenge this location, I'll happily trade my Liquidator and Mowgli with your 4-cost Singer that's going to keep filling you up with answers over and over, while not letting you answer just this ticking up for 2 lower turn Zootopias.
Yeah, and next turn, we do have the ability to play the Philip combo, but I'm not even sure we want to do the Philip combo, because we really just want to be taking out those locations. Obviously, if the Donald survives, then Donald can sing, and then we can shift Philip, take out all the characters and a location, and that'll put us in a very good spot. So that will be a very strong play next turn, actually.
Yeah, let's see what he has in his hand. Playing down another Mowgli, taking away what appears to be an action or song.
Yeah, it leaves him
It looks
with
like
Mama
Under the
Odie.
Sea.
Yeah, it's under the sea, leaving him with Mama Odie and Philip. And I think if he draws an Inkable, he's going to probably just shift this Philip anyway and start fighting for board and not worry about the Philip banishing any characters.
Yeah, momentum seems to be in a good spot, but Beefcake can also just shift away. I do believe we did see a Clarabelle and a Prince Philip in hand, or is it just a Prince Philip?
It was, I believe, Prince Philip, Mama Odie was his hand, so he needs to draw an Inkable here, and then he's likely going to shift the Prince Philip, take out a location, and then I wouldn't hate the Donald going into Mowgli and having the Liquidator crack back.
I feel like you also need to be drawing those cards. We're out of cards in hand. Are we just going to
Yeah.
answer everything Momentum does just with a Prince Philip? It's possible. Momentum's deck is a bit more of a control deck. We're playing Della's Lullaby, so we're probably a more control deck. That makes me feel like Headless Horsemen's are in our deck.
Mhm.
And the Shift Philip comes down and takes out one of those Utopias, obviously the non-foil one.
Yep. Yeah, and you might be right, leaving this Donald upright one more turn just to get some resources back, because our only card right now is that Mama Odie, which is really not what we want to be doing really at all the rest of this game.
I mean, the Mama Odie might be good if we somehow draw 5 cards first. But realistically, I kind of wish we had kept the Clarabelle. But you do what you have to do, and you have to ink cards to play your cards. So you can't keep everything. As we see the Headless Horseman earlier come down, answer that Donald, and just continue to lay down some pressure, because it's going to take so many turns just for this Prince Philip on its own to stop this. Unless it sings Under the Sea.
And there is our Mama Odie.
Inkizer.
Inkizer. All right, I think Momentum's probably not too displeased with this Inkizer just because of the state of the board at this point and the lore total.
Well, Beefcake can easily take out the location this turn, and that leaves Momentum able to go to 13, and then the Philip can then answer away the Headless Horseman if we want to. And then like the clock on Momentum's side is drastically cut back. Unless he has some more characters to play. I was not tracking what he was inking, but Beefcake might have been. So if his inkable cards were kind of like mid-range cards that he can't even play yet, or more lullabies.
Yeah, we definitely inked that big Elsa, which is obviously not the card that Momentum would want back to his hand at this point. And as you predicted, the location has been taken up by Beefcake.
It's just free. There's
and I like free. Free is the best.
And so unlikely that we don't just quest out with everything that can. Probably sing a lullaby to basically just draw a card.
Yeah. Maybe on the Mama Odie in the off chance that, I don't know, does something. The Philip go into 4/6. I guess if you could get another.
We just need
Della,
one more.
Yeah.
One more lullaby, and then we can't headless.
We can't
I don't
headless,
know what we'd actually even do.
Yeah, but I guess and then it doesn't even stop taking out the headless. So yeah, no, we probably just do Mama Odie and prevent Mama Odie from putting damage on.
Isn't that a really big shrink? Do we have?
That is a really big shrink. Yeah, that's Trials and Tribulations. That's -4, I believe, right? So is Prince Philip at 0 now?
This way, our Headless Horseman gets to quest again, and our location survives for a turn. This is kind of troublesome for Beefcake here.
Yeah.
That's a good 3 extra lore almost added on that he can't answer right away.
Yeah, that's one of the best Trials and Tribulations I've ever seen, and one of the only ones I've ever seen.
Yeah. That's this scenario right here is what the designers were thinking of when they made that card.
Yeah. It is good with locations. Like you find these use for these locations, and that's always fun because they are just such a a card you have to play at the exact right time to get value out of. All right, and it looks like, is this a vision, I'm guessing?
So we could still sing You're Welcome with the prince, shuffle away that pesky horseman. And then that does lower some of the lore momentum can get here. I'm pretty sure the Headless Horseman's more scary than the location at the moment.
Yeah, it's just not a good situation for Beefcake right now.
Then again, maybe you actually sing it on the location, knowing that in the next turn you can sing Mean, Malicious, and Scary. And he's double singing Mean, Malicious, and Scary, it looks like.
Or is that? I think it was.
Or Under the Sea.
Singing? Yeah, it looks like Under the Sea. Yeah, and Under the Sea is going to stop the 2 lore that Mike basically gained from the Trials and Tribulations.
It definitely needed to happen. Like, we needed to answer some sort of lore pressure in play, or we're just banished.
And then the Under the Sea does trigger Mama Odie, giving us more ink as well. So Mama Odie actually doing some work after the Ink Geyser.
Synergy.
I love some good synergy. I wanted to make Mama Odie work so bad in set 3 Blurple. It was so close. But if you didn't draw it or they answered it, you just sort of lost. All right. So we are boosting the location. Liquidator goes there. And we are doing Be Our Guest. Be our guest. Let us choose a character off the top 4.
Or less.
Yeah. And we'll send the ones we don't want to the bottom.
Wait a second.
And we'll choose our best. And discard the rest to the
I did have the table 3 logo up instead of the table 2 logo. As Momentum did not get traded to the Salty Ducks. He still plays for Triad.
Gotcha.
But he was telling me he's so tired of playing with his son that maybe he would join the Ducks. All speculation and bad humor. But as we quest away up to 15 in the face of this Prince Philip, that is, I think was Shrank this turn and we be our guested, or did we only be our guest?
I think we be our guested. Because I think that's still the Trials and Tribulation right under.
Well, I think we played 2 trials. I think we played one and then the next turn played another one.
Oh, okay.
But because what else did we use our ink for here? Like, we sang a song with Liquidator and we quested, but we've got 4 ink exerted.
We boosted the location.
And we moved two characters to location.
Yeah.
Does it cost 1 or 2 to move something to location? I think it costs 1. So I think we sang Trials and Tribulations, then played Be Our Guest for ink. Don't remember what we grabbed, and then we moved both characters to the graveyard. It was Lonely Graveyard, I do believe. Is this the correct one? Yes, and it only takes 1 to move a character there. Even though you can't see it in the art as it's turned sideways. And... yep. The rotate card feature is still broken.
And Mike is down to just a Liquidator. And this Liquidator has gone the distance. Not really questing a lot, if at all, but it has stuck around for a long time. And this Philip has stuck around for a long time and has clearly been the MVP, even without the combo, just taking over the board. And finally, Mike gets an answer to say night-night to Beefcakes. Large Prince Philip.
Horseman Strike, pretty good at answering Prince Phillips.
This Liquidator has got a song in his heart. I have never seen a Liquidator sing this many cards.
It's been like 3 turns in a row of singing, I think, for that
Yeah.
liquidator.
Yep. And then Sisu, gonna go the distance. Sisu, very good at getting lore. Only a 1/1, but it's got that keyword of evasive, which makes it very hard to crack back and challenge. So in the history of Lorcana, Sisu has gotten more lore than like any other card in the Ruby Sapphire decks.
Yeah, the Sisu, it's very similar to Spellbook and Pascal and that sort of thing, where it's like you play it and then people kind of ignore it, similar to like the Diablo, the Amethyst Diablo, as I do believe that is an enchanted Clarabelle.
And Beefcake maybe gets to draw. Looks like no. I think Momentum only had 1 or 2 cards in hand, and so now we're going to see a Shark. This is quite an interesting list. I do not know what is going to come next, and I'm on the edge of my seat. All of these cards are not what I expected. I thought it was like an aggro location deck, and now I've seen a ton of songs. So this is quite a fun matchup I'm seeing. This is quite a unique take on Amber Ruby.
Yeah, it's a fun little control deck for sure, and that's why I selected it. I wanted to watch it play.
Yeah, control versus control. Let's see if the momentum can stay with momentum. And it looks like Basil is going to return the Shark to Mike's hand, which is going to be quite dangerous just because Mike is getting oh so close to 20. And as we know, Shark's ability allows momentum to gain a lore whenever a song is played or whenever you play any action at all. And so if we have that liquidator sing another song, that's 18. Play another song, 19.
He do it? Can he have the super song action? I mean, he is somehow a super. I actually do like how the super villains from the Darkwing Duck cards in this set will now have synergy with the super effects from the Incredibles, even though they're all like heroes. It does trigger on some select villains, so it's pretty cool. I really like that. You come out with a set, you have this new like type characterization or just something that triggers on something, and then in the next set you have something that's similar but does another thing. We've already seen it with Boost and other cards that are like, well, like shift cards. Basically, when you have cards under this, something happens. You think it's just for shift, and they're like, oh, out of left field, we're coming out with this new ability called Boost. It does everything the game wants to do. Is a new resource. It's fantastic. Big fan.
Boost, I think, is one of the best design mechanics in Lorcana because with the 1, 2, 3, 4 like number system and inking system, you're quite limited on card design, and the Boost allows you to kind of keep those vanilla stats and break some of that up and give unique effects. And so you can make these cards that really aren't great the turn you play them, but if they survive or you have enough extra ink for the Boost, they end up being good. And so it's one of those where they're okay in the early game, or once you get enough ink, they're great when you play them. So really, really great design philosophy. And I hope that the Boost characters come back in future sets.
I mean, Scrooge here has almost single-handedly made Ruby a playable color again.
Yeah, it's the best, one of the best 2-drops in the game, if not the best.
I'm sure there's a better 2-drop than Scrooge, but I will say he's quite good. In core, maybe. I don't know. Lilo's pretty good.
Typo's good. Sail's
Tramp
good.
is pretty good. Lilo's pretty, or as you said, Typo's pretty good. There's quite a few amazing 2-drops.
Yeah.
Ursula.
Yeah.
But the power level on it, and it's just on the Boost, and the fact that Boost is quote unquote a disadvantage because you have to pay ink to activate it. But then when you're able to use other cards and other synergies to take advantage of that boosting by what Mike's deck here, Momentum's deck, he loads his discard up with characters and then possibly returns them with Black Cauldron or other effects like that, or uses the Shark to get back songs. Or if it's an Amethyst deck, it can use Elephant to return it to the hand and then return all those others. And if they answer it with, say, a Hades or a Let It Go, then you all of a sudden you get extra ink. It's kind of nice there, as Beefcake's camera wants to show off them guns.
And it looks like Beefcake could steal this game back from Mike. He's setting up a lot of lore on the board, and Mike is on a two-turn clock now, and so it looks like he's going to have to trade in order to survive another opportunity. But even then, I think that's still a two-turn clock, so he's going to have to probably draw a Horseman Strikes into a character that sets up enough to take the game from Beefcake, and hope that Beefcake doesn't play another character as well or interact at all. So outlook, all of a sudden, not great for momentum. It seems the momentum has shifted.
But too good, as Beefcake is benching the opposition here and is at 18 and is ready to win this game. Can we weather the storm? No, we cannot.
We cannot. Yeah, I don't think there was an out for Mike there, unfortunately. And Beefcake is going to... Oh, if he has Raging Storm in the deck, then there was a possibility.
There was one in his discard, I think, that went there from the Scrooge.
And that is good information for Beefcake to know for game 2.
If he noticed it, he might not have. Yeah. You could only kind of see the corner of the card. Yeah. But, man, Momentum had that tempo there at the start of that game and was able to kind of get going. And Beefcake kind of stole it back. But that's what that Emerald Sapphire deck does. It's constantly ramping, allowing your opponent to build a board, and then it answers the board. And then it answers the board. And then it wins. Or it answers the board again.
Beefcake with the beautiful bridge shuffle. I never would do it myself because I think it breaks all my cards, but I know people can do it without breaking the cards, and so power to them. I am not good at it.
Dude, oh man. I wish the cards were cheap. I wish the cards were worth no value so I could just riffle shuffle to my heart's desire, but they have finances, and like we know there's enchanteds in Beefcake's deck that he's riffle shuffling.
Yeah, he wants a nice randomized shuffled deck.
Hey, you know, if your foils are pringled or riffle shuffle, that'll pringle your whole deck. So
yeah,
maybe that's
Pringles
the answer.
For all.
Maybe that's the answer.
What is your favorite Pringles flavor?
It might be pizza, honestly. I'm pretty basic. I like the hot ones, but you get the hot ones Pringles like punish you for not having self-control.
Okay. I only like original.
What?
I don't know. The flavor dust just, I don't know. It tastes like poison to me. So it's like but I like the original one.
Had to mute to say that one. Eventually, maybe we'll get you to put some spice and seasoning on your food.
I use so much spice and seasoning. I just had like a whole Louisiana style meat day this weekend, and yeah.
You have to use more than just salt and pepper, friend.
The amount of paprika my house goes through would shock you. I buy it in gallon jugs.
I mean, paprika is pretty good. Do you use smoked or non-smoked paprika?
Smoked Memphis paprika. And we ink the liquidator and pass.
I bet the liquidator doesn't use seasoning either.
Nah, he's a water guy.
Yep.
I've even got smoked water in my house.
Smoked water?
Yeah.
How did that... I don't know how drinking meat would taste.
No. It's like flavor. It's flavored smoke. So if you don't have the time to smoke something, you can put it on, and it gives it the flavor of smoke in the dish. Do not want to use a lot of that because it will ruin your meal very quick.
I honestly just thought you had like a thing of water that you put in the smoker and let smoke with the meat. And I'm like, you know what? It was a meat day at your house. Maybe that's something you could do. That would be kind of a funny thing.
Yeah.
It's probably actually good with adult beverages, actually.
We do play Sail at ramp to 3 while Mike is going to play a diary, which he actually missed last game, which would have given him a lot of resources. And so now he's got the Scrooge into diary, which is going to start giving him a lot of card advantage should he want that.
He does need some sort of ramping. It's quite he needs it for post Ink Geyser.
Is that a Donald? Okay. The screen has
that is a Donald Duck.
Loosened up, and it looks like our big friend Donnie's here to draw Beefcake and Mike some cards. And we are going to start with the boosty for the Scrooge, drawing, of course, with the Webby. And then we're going to play the Mowgli.
It's well known, lore-wise, that Scrooge McDuck has complete control over Donald Duck, and Donald does whatever he says. He's a perfect gentleman like that. So if Scrooge says no, he can easily challenge that Donald away. And that looks like a 1 jump ahead and 2 under the seas and a Mama Odie. This game might just be over right now, and we even discarded an under the sea to that. So we had triple under the sea, Mama Odie 1 jump ahead.
But we do, of course, get 2 draws, one because of the Donald, 1 for turn, and then we have a Tipo to kind of get us to 6 ink. And then, so if we just draw a Clarabelle or something, we're going to just be back in this game very quickly.
Yeah, we get to play the Mama Odie, and then we could sing the 1 jump if we wanted, or we could ink the Tipo and just play the 1 jump to trigger Mama Odie, get double ink, which pops us to 7 ink.
Yeah.
And then we could start playing Under the Seas if we needed to. And that looks like the line that Beefcake's going. Didn't see what he drew to ink for turn. Hopefully it wasn't an Under the Sea. That would be hilariously cheating.
He did have a Tipo, so maybe he inked the Tipo.
That would make sense. It seems like the perfect card to put in your ink. If you ink Geyser it later, it's not bad because you can replay it.
Yeah, it's the perfect ink. All right, we are inking. I believe that is Aladdin.
Yep, Tipo, he listened to Goofy. He learned the perfect cast. He's always hitting that ramp when you need him.
And the Horseman, of course, going to take out our Donald Duck. Oh, actually opting for the Mama Odie, which is interesting.
The amount of ink that can be gained from that Mama Odie. Like, if Beefcake, like, he could just play a 4-drop Cindy, then ink Geyser, and then sing a song with Mama Odie, getting an ink, and then end of turn Cindy an ink. He could jump back right where he was while setting back momentum. But the problem is his momentum had no ramp, so he's only got 5 ink himself. So it's not that much of a setback for him.
Yeah,
but that play did work the last game for Beefcake.
Yeah. And this Donald is getting Beefcake the resources he needs to stay into the game. And you know what's better than 1 Donald? 2 Donalds. There's very few games as an Emerald Sapphire player where I've lost if I've had 2 Donalds be on the board at the start of my turn. And so that's kind of one of the best things you can do in these slower games is just develop Donalds, acquire resources, and play the Prince Philip combo.
And as brutal as this was, it didn't matter what momentum took down, as Beefcake had an extra copy of both of them.
Yeah. He would have had to draw into those extra copies because he did not have them at the start of the previous turn when we Mowgli'd.
Oh, and there goes the other Mama Odie teleporting to the discard pile. Banished that quickly. Sisu says, nuh-uh, you didn't even stand a chance as we're attacking that hand again. We know there's at least 1 Under the Sea in there, if not 3.
2 Under the Seas.
What? 2 Under the Seas and Basil?
Prince Philip.
Prince Philip.
Yep, so now his hand is just Prince Philip and Under the Sea, but he is going to draw 2 cards with Donald and be going into, I believe, enough to, obviously he can sing with the Donalds, the Under the Sea, but I also think he can just hard play it at this point. He's either at 6 or 7, so if he's at 7, he would be able to do it. And our guest is going to take Shark, which is going to have a nice opportunity in the coming turns. Although this is going to be the turns where the Prince Philip combo is going to start to be worrisome. So Momentum wants to keep track of that all-important number from Emerald Sapphire is 9, And 9 is important because that's where if you have a character that can sing Malicious, you can sing Malicious and then hard cast the Prince Philip for the combo. And so not 6, 9, and 12 are the big numbers for Emerald Sapphire.
I like to say 9 to that, as in no, because that sounds really mean.
Malicious even.
Yeah,
and scary to
and
some.
quite scary too. That
Alrighty.
movie is on my rewatch/watch list. I'm gonna have to be stopping my morning stream for a little bit here coming up because for those who are parents who are in the know, school's almost out, and I don't have that nice 7-hour break every day. So I'm probably gonna be binging quite a bit of Disney Plus.
And I'm quite excited that they cast Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel in the live-action Tangled movie because I think she'd be the most perfect Mother Gothel ever. So if she's anything like her like WandaVision style acting character, it's gonna be quite good.
Who did they get?
Catherine Hahn.
Is that Agatha?
Yeah.
I'm that person. I don't know actors' real names. I know characters they play.
Got it. I have a unique skill that is useful nowhere. That
Trivia?
if you name a movie or actor, I can basically tell you what year that movie came out.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Casper the Friendly Ghost was 1993.
Who's the lead actor?
Christina Ricci.
That's the actress. Who's the lead actor?
Oh man, I actually don't know that one.
All right, he was in. He's so big. I feel like he's an actor. I know.
He's an actor. I know.
As soon as I think about it, I just blank. I just blank the rest of the movies that the dad was in.
All right, and now we have gone back to the game. We didn't miss anything.
And nothing's happened yet.
It was just a long vision. Vision of Ghosts, in fact. I'm curious now. Is Casper 1993? I got to go back to it.
You don't know?
I'm always within 2 years. If I'm wrong, I'm within 2 years.
95.
Oh,
95.
I hit my rule, though.
Technically, yeah.
All right. So after very long visions of the future, we are moving
the character
back.
I'm talking about, who I didn't. Oh wait, that's Sinner, not Sinners. He was also in Independence Day.
Oh, Bill Pullman.
Yeah, man, I can't believe that's who you. I thought maybe saying that movie you would be like, oh, who would he be in that? But yes, he was the dad in Casper.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 5, I guess.
You're such a baby. The movie came out when I was like 10, 12, at least.
When I was 5.
95, I was 10.
Third
Triple
Donald. And as I said, it's very, very hard for Emerald Sapphire to lose if 3 Donalds can survive the start of turn.
Yeah, that is a flock of perfect gentlemen. There's so many miladies, I don't even know what to do. Does Momentum know how to handle this?
He is finally back, and a good answer is some locations. Although with 3 Donalds, they can just go and say no location, and then follow it up with a Prince Philip combo.
Not now.
Yes.
We're singing one of those Donalds. You know, how can he be upset? He listens to his sister's lullaby, and then he wants to take a nap. He's not going to be challenging nothing. He might sing a mean, malicious, and scary, but...
My darling baby boy. That's the Della song, right?
I don't actually remember how the song goes.
I only know the clip from it. Yeah. How do I dance around it? All right, we are going to Questy Town and say, batter up, Beefcake. What do you got for me? I know you're going to 9 ink here. If you got it, you got it. But I'm taking my lore. Please don't have it. I know you got the big Prince Philip. Please don't draw the You got 3 draws. Please don't draw the malicious.
He wasn't Spaceballs.
Yeah,
So-
he was the Han Solo character.
So if Beefcake has the mean malicious, I think this game might be able to be stopped. But otherwise, it seems a little hard to do. And this location, he can't even take this location down in one turn. As he has half of it, but yeah, this location's not going to gain the remaining 9. And it's even being shuffled away. I think that might be it. Or at least that's enough to make the game last a little bit longer, as Momentum could Raging Storm, which then would only leave Beefcake with, what, 3 cards? Like, the triple Donald refilling his hand is insane.
Yeah. It's very hard for Emerald to lose when they're drawing that many cards, because their cards together are just so strong. And Emerald has always been historically one of the most synergistic deck pairings, and so it always lost games to just not having the resources to get those combos and getting the cards in the wrong order. But when you're drawing 3 extra a turn, you're going to get those cards in the right order.
I mean, I do believe you were just talking about having 15 cards and 4 mean, malicious, and scaries. So it can happen. It just rarely does.
Yeah, I also visioned twice that turn and still didn't hit a Prince.
You trying to give me, like, second-hand trauma?
I had 15 cards in my deck, and I visioned twice and didn't hit a Prince Philip. 4 were in the bottom 5 cards. It was bad. And there we see the Horseman Strike, leaving these Donalds to be gentlemen once more. And we still have a bit of ink, so we can still hopefully develop the board. But those Tri-Donalds are not easy. It's not easy for Amber Ruby to be dealing with these 2/5s. He's really going to want to have this Raging Storm in the next turn or so.
Oh, well,
But
it
this is
answers
good.
1 Donald and gives us some more lore to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But Beefcake with 3 cards in hand, about to go to 6. I imagine a Clarabelle is going to be coming down soon.
Yeah, and I'm curious if Mike is drawing or not drawing with the Donalds. I didn't see him draw there.
Yeah, it does seem like he didn't draw this time, but he already has like 5-ish cards in hand. It's hard not to draw here, but at the same time, he might not want to get decked out, because he's going through cards with boost and almost as many as Beefcake's drawn.
Yeah, if I don't have a Raging Storm, I'm probably drawing. If I do, I probably might slow down. But Beefcake is just going to take the opportunity, take a turn off here, vision for the ammo he's looking for to close this game out and put himself in the fully the driver's seat. Now, he's only at 2 lore, but he is in a much more dominating position than it looks like, because these Donalds are just putting in the work. Spaceballs was 1989, by the way.
Oof, Ink Geyser! Well, we were wondering how many cards Momentum had. It's 1 million. And the fact that Donalds get to quest into this Horseman even, if so desired.
Alrighty. Ink Geyser. How do you go about doing the Ink Geyser? Now, a lot of people are like doing the die rolls and stuff, but Emerald Sapphire can go to time, so I say, here's the cards, pick 3 for me, opponent.
Yeah, I would shuffle it up and then sprawl it and be like, what do you want me to keep?
Yeah. And then it's once you get to 15 ink, it's like it doesn't even matter. You're gonna hit like everything anyway. So,
but if you're going to time with Emerald Sapphire, you need to play faster. You draw a lot of cards, you do a lot of actions every turn. It is definitely a deck that you need a lot of reps with to be able to play through quick enough not to get those draws.
Brazil, we went to game 3 with 42 minutes left, and we went to time in that game because neither of us drew. I had 5 cards left in my deck, and I didn't PP combo, and he had 7 cards left in his deck, and he never comboed. And so it was just like, who can, like, what are we doing here? It was just like both players just could not put something together. It was really wild.
That seems so weird because that means you definitely went through your entire deck because you had played Visions.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just get forced in a position that you either have to ink a Mean Malicious or play 2 of them to take down some warded characters, or just like shift a Prince Philip and start questing and then have a Philip charge into a Philip or get shuffled into the deck. Some
Yep.
crazy scenarios.
Another Visions from Beefcake. So Beefcake doing a lot, but also doing a little at the same time. A lot of game actions, not a lot of board presence.
Did he sail 3 times this turn?
It looks like he sailed quite a few times. Yes, there's a lot of face-up ink there.
Yeah, there's 4 face-up ink right there.
And sail much better than Tipo in these situations because it allows you to use the extra ink the turn you play it, where Tipo does not. And that is really important when you have 3 sails.
Yeah, playing Ink Geyser and then passing the turn with 7 ink is insane. And we didn't even have a Mama Odie in play to do that with. Momentum's in kind of a rough spot, but maybe this game he had some cheap things, and that's 1 jump. Did I say passing with 7 ink? I meant passing with 8.
So he Ink Geysered and then just went back to the amount of ink he was at, basically. That is wild.
Well, that's just 1 double quest from challenging down, but if they do that, then the Horseman gets to stick around. And we've got another Scrooge to come down to be a big body that could then challenge down the Donalds if they weren't constantly refilling Beefcake's hand into answers.
Yeah, overall, about the best turn that Mike Momentum could have in this situation. He is going to take the lore while he can. And Beefcake, though, is going to have all the resources in the world, all the ink in the world, and this is going to be the turn that probably decides the game, in my opinion.
I like how Beefcake drew the cards there. He puts it face down on top of the Donald. So if you somehow mess something up, it's face down so you don't get in trouble. And he goes face down Donald, face down Donald, face down to my hand. These are the 3 cards I'm drawing each turn. It's clean, it's easy, and there's no chance for a mistake.
Yep, I do like that. I might have to adopt that because I've not seen that before.
I mean, it's kind of like everyone draws their starting hand. You deal them face down, right? It's just he's doing it throughout the game, as it looks like we are singing...
Strike a good match.
Strike a good match, yep.
How does he have room for all of this is my question. What is he cutting to make room for the Odies, the 1 jumps, the strike a good matches? Because I also saw Basil in here, I think, too, right?
Have you seen a Cindy yet?
I have not seen a Cindy yet, so definitely the Cindy's are out. Good call. Cindy's are probably Mama Odie.
But we're running 1 jump, Tipo, and Sail. And I saw Under the Seas. I bet he's... I could just look.
We do have the production ability to look at it.
So we're only on 2 Basils and no John Silvers.
So it's no John
like
Silvers, no
6.
Cindy's, and that's like all the difference. Okay. And Basil is played here, sending Scrooge back to the hand. Did not want to send the Horseman because that could take out one of these Donalds. And I'm going to guess the ready Donald is going to take out this Horseman here.
And the 1 jump aheads, they're also songs, so they trigger Mama Odie, so we're just running those over the Develop Your Brains. It's basically a clean swap for Cindy for Odie, and then develop into 1 jump, or strike a good match.
Yeah.
And we're just
it's probably quite good in these control matchups, but I bet that's going to hurt you in the dogs matchup and the more aggressive matchups. But
well, yes and no. He's going to have so many songs in his deck that the Mowgli's don't hurt as much, but he's also playing so much more ramp that he might be able to get to the Under the Sea quicker if he needs to.
That's true. So my plan was always just keep all the develops in Vision, get enough singers, play them, sing Under the Sea.
It gives us this weird scenario that when you're playing so many 2-cost ramps that you save your first sail and then you play a Tipo or a 1 jump on
Yeah.
2, and then that lets you play the shifted print or the 3-cost Prince Philip on curve as well. You sail, ink, play the Philip, and then you get a shift Philip combo on turn 4 against
Yep.
dogs. And they can't stop that.
Right. They can stop it with an Ursula.
But they can't stop you from shifting it and then eating whatever they've been questing with.
Yeah. I actually
it
did that in
shifted,
round
they could,
12,
but-
and he scooped on that turn versus dogs.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yep. That was a 7-minute match. Game 1, he won on turn 4. Game 2, I won on turn 4. Game 3, he won on turn 4.
Oh. I liked how it sounded when you stopped at game 2. It would have been perfectly
Yeah.
good. That's a John Silver. What
thought
did
you
I
said-
read?
I thought you said no John Silvers.
I just assumed that regard.
Uh-oh.
He is playing for John Silver.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, and we are ink geysering again. Again, Beefcake doing a lot of stuff, but also a little of stuff. If there was a chess clock in this game, it would be all Beefcake, a little bit of Mike here in this game.
So
3.
he had 3 Under the Seas in his hand in that other game. He only had 3 in his deck, so he somehow had drawn all 3 early in the game. Didn't
Yeah.
even stop him.
That was this game.
Was it this game? Oh
yeah,
my
he was. That
goodness.
was when he was down to his last cards were. He was like Under the Sea, Tipo, and Prince Philip. But his Donald like bailed him out, and he had like, or no, it was Mama Odie, I think, and then yeah.
Yep, he played the Odie, and then they answered Odie, and then he played Donald. Odie answered the Odie, played another Donald.
Yeah.
Donald
this
Duck's
is
a
where-
perfect gentleman.
This is where we need the Raging Storm, but we are 4 turns away from it because we got Ink Geysered again. And now with a Basil out, our hand is going to be attacked. And then with John Silver out, we're going to be getting reckless, so we're not going to be able to quest anymore. So we are not in a great position because we are also just so far away from the Raging Storm. Beefcake's going to start accelerating his lore and close this game out in about 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah, the Liquidator, though, is going to at least make it that the Silver is probably not going to survive, or we just trade cleanly with the Basil.
Yeah. Probably want to get rid of the John Silver, but the Basil's also painful too. So it's
we saw the web or the 1-cost Clarabelle come down, but we didn't blow up Webby's Diary. It's done nothing this game. I wonder if Beefcake just forgot it existed.
Yeah, it's just hiding over there.
Just hanging out. Secrets unread.
The total amount Beefcake is inked this time has got to be well and deep into the 20s at this point.
I bet Webby's Diary is like an insanely good read. Like the adventures. I mean, it would just be like reading the DuckTales.
Yeah, I mean, DuckTales, one of my favorite shows growing up. Big fan of it. Loved the movie. That was one of my most watched VHSs. They did a lot of big fan of ducks in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s. Everything was ducks. We got Rockadoodle, great duck film.
The Mighty
DuckTales,
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks. And then all of a sudden the Mighty Ducks went to like a weird cartoon where they're like actually alien ducks and also good. Yeah, just a Darkwing Duck, of course. One of my other. I got that one. I got into that one a little bit later than DuckTales when it was like on reruns on Toon Disney or whatever channel that was.
Did Darkwing Duck, did that happen in Duckburg as well?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. So they both had Launchpad in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Baloo for a second because Baloo was in Tailspin and obviously the Jungle Book.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's the pilot in Tailspin.
Yeah.
And if he's not, then my childhood was just ruined.
All right, and so we are opting to leave John Silver up. We're inching closer to Raging Storm. Beefcake getting a lot of lore, so not sure if it is going to be enough time to get to the Raging Storm, and even then, Beefcake can just refill afterward. But,
Yeah, but
the Donald Ducks are finally gone.
Yeah, with the Ducks gone, a lot of his card draw is also gone. So he kind of needs to shift to Clarabelle to then refill. It's like Clarabelle, sing your welcome to continue this momentum. But we do have the John Silver.
I do not know what card that is. Is that Aladdin?
I think that is the Aladdin Whisper foil.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. There's like lightning behind it here. It's a good effect on that card. I do believe it gives your reckless characters the ability to exert for lore, so that kind of edit undo what John Silver does, but instead we saw the combo come down. Mean, Malicious, Scary, Prince Philip, and a big quest. This game is looking locked up outside of Ink into Raging Storm. Does he have it?
I think he's only at six ink, unfortunately. He's either at
Don't
5 or 6.
Don't toy with me like that, J-Bomb.
All right, we do have the Horseman Strike. So we are going to see another day, I believe, but there is a pile of bodies over there that I think does not equal 20 from 14. So we are going to have another day, which likely can get us to the Raging Storm, but then we're just going to have Beefcake at the oh so close. Okay, so we are taking stuff out. So probably the Clarabelle says night night. Yep. And all right, this board is actually not that out of hand for Mike right now. It's just Tipo and another card. I'm having trouble remembering what it was in the glare. So it is Emerald.
It's a Basil.
Basil. My old friend.
It's a pretty good card. It got a little worse this set, but still good. Right, like there's just so many good characters that have come into play, like do stuff, or ETB if you may, and then trigger to do something. It was you see that enchanted Clarabelle come into play.
Clarabelle, come on, draw me the cards. All right, and so how many cards is Beefcake gonna get to draw? Not seen Momentum's hand in a while, but this is quite an intriguing game. And so we're going to take a look, go to 17, and then the Basil should discard.
So is Momentum still on 6 ink then? So we're still not having Storm as an out. This Webby's Diary backfired on us. We have not activated it that I'm aware of.
We activated it on turn 4, I believe.
Oh, we did activate it once? Okay, well, then it at least replaces itself. Which is really all you want for an item like that, right? It comes into play, it replaces itself. If it stays in play, it's just going to be good advantage. Similar to Workshop, but a little bit harder to activate every turn.
Yeah. And you just kind of hope for those Scrooges to stay out for quite a long time and just getting to draw for 2 ink a turn.
Do you think Workshop would be better or worse if it didn't cost to activate, but it only triggered once a turn?
Probably worse.
You think you'd make it inkable then?
Probably. Yeah.
We'll see that card in like 3 sets. If you've played card games long enough, you'll find that a lot of cards end up getting remade just a little bit different, better or worse, either for a nostalgia version or just because it's a good mechanic and you want something like that. It just kind of happens.
Yeah. And again, like when you're limited to the 1, 2, 3s, like unless you just power spike everything, you just sort of have to get creative. Because from the game design perspective, every value is assigned to like a total ink total. So like 3-2 is your average stats. So you get 5 total stats for 2 ink, and so 2 ink get 5 stats and 1 lore. You add a second lore to that, so like Mr. Smee. Now Mr. Smee is all of a sudden he's above statted, and we are going to see this game come to a close.
There was the Raging Storm, but not the ink to do it. Beefcake snagging that victory there.
Congrats to Beefcake there. That was a hard-fought battle. He was in the driver's seat a lot of that game, but it takes a long time to close down from Emerald Sapphire because you do have to eventually get the board, which without the Prince Philip combo or getting Horseman Strike every time, you're just not getting a ton of lore. So it took some time, but we did get there.
He ran away immediately, so now I have to send a message.
Come back.
That's not even the right Beefcake. How do I have multiple people named Beefcake on my Discord?
I don't know. That's crazy.
They just... We'll try to get... That was a pretty fun game. I do like watching that Mama Odie control deck.
Yeah. Mama Odie's very fun. I played a bit of it in Blurple in set 3, and when it goes off, you just laugh, and you're like, all the ink. It's so much fun. It's a good time. Mama Odie's a fun card. I wish it was playable more in core and tournament play, because it's one of those where it's so good when it goes off, but it's just so freaking clunky.
Well, that's a Dogsmere. And that is Dogs versus Amethyst Amber. And I think this is an Emerald Sapphire Mirror.
Oh, that is one of my least favorite matchups, but that is fun to watch because it's like Ink Geyser, PP combo, Ink Geyser.
I think... And this game's like... over-ish? No. I think they're almost all over.
Sadness overwhelms me. I want to see more Lorcana.
Let me swap something here. I think we're humorously gonna go back to our main match. Oh, I see. Oh, we're going to do our interview first. Because check out who's here.
Beefcake is here. Let's go.
I don't hear you, though. Do you hear Beefcake? Can you say something?
I do not.
I don't hear him. I see his little mic moving. Why don't you join the Discord channel as well?
How about now, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you
there
now.
we go. Perfect.
Cool.
Perfection.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I haven't used this before, so I had to switch it over to my headphones. So,
hanging out in the hotel lobby. Look at that.
that's right. Yeah, I got the high-speed internet this time, so hopefully it wasn't too choppy.
Oh, it was. You need a better camera.
Dude. You know what I think it is? Honestly, my camera is like pretty good quality. I got to figure out how to turn it down. Is I think the key. If I could turn it down to like under 4K, I think maybe that might help solve the problem. So
that could be an issue.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play with that for next week for sure.
You brought a very exciting deck.
Yeah.
Tell us about
it. Yeah, Mama Odie, man.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm on the. If you're playing Ink Geyser, I like the Odie a lot. It's like green blue songs, right? You just like stick an Odie, play a Geyser, set them back on Ink, sing a bunch of songs to clear the board up while you're simultaneously re-inking back down. I mean, the one game I didn't even have the Odie, and I was still able to get down between the one jumps and stuff like that. You know, back down to I think like 8 ink or 7, 8 ink.
Did you play 3 sales in one turn on the same
Yeah.
turn, Geyser? That was
that
3
was nuts.
sales and a 1 jump.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, that was yeah. Well, I drew off I had multiple Donalds in play, so I drew off Donald. It was like Tipo, sale, and I'm like, well, shit. I didn't even have the Ink Geyser at the time, so I was like, all right, well, if I hit an Ink Geyser, it's pretty good. And so I hit a Visions off of 1, and I hit something else, and then I just Visions and found the Geyser, and I'm like, all right, well, seems like a prime time to stick this sucker. So
How many Ink Geysers were you on?
2.
2. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, 3 is all right, but it's a little clunky.
Yeah.
You know, you can, and to be honest, like some games you don't even really need the geyser. You know, you just create so much advantage with cow, and you have so much lore that or so much ink anyway that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So you're just getting so far ahead, and then you have the Philip combo to clean up the board or under the sea.
Pay 12 to do it naturally and not even have to sing it. Easy peasy. I've had a Mama Odeon play for 4 turns.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And I played 2 1-jumps too, which is nice. So it makes for Odie, obviously, but then it makes the turn 2 ramp a little bit more consistent, which is nice. I think 8 is like the sweet spot, but I mean, if you can afford to play 10 because it's
like
just
10.
with your neck, yeah.
10 feels
cool.
fine. Like,
Consistency.
It opens up the ability to be able to keep that sail, so you can go turn 2, 1 jump or Tipo, and then on turn 3, play sail, ink, play Prince Philip. It's really good against those more aggressive decks, so you need that really quickly.
You have maybe the most busted opener in core too, where you can go, and this happens more times than you think. You go like turn 2 Tipo, turn 3 sail into Odie, sing 1 jump, turn 4 slam a cow for 7 and pass and draw a new hand. Like it happens a lot.
I've done that once or twice in the non-Mama Odie version, where it's like Tipo into sail or something like that. It's degenerate, but it's hilarious when it happens. You're like, I have no cards except for this Clarabelle. Gonna redraw all those cards back up.
Yeah, playing up people's fun too, and it's cool with Odie. Ink Geyser becomes a card advantage engine too, right? Because you're like putting all the stuff off the top, and then you just get to pick it all up later, and so and there's not that many Pete effects in the format right now, so it doesn't punish you for playing a bunch of songs. So it's fun.
Yeah, it looked a lot of fun. You were taking so many game actions. I was like, he's doing a lot of stuff, but not committing to the board at all. Taking a long time on his turns, but he's getting there. He's slowly crafting his hand in his plays. So,
dude, that game 1 was a grind. I thought he was going to get me on it. He kept Mowgli in my damn MMS, and I was like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? So I couldn't afford to keep a card to pitch with it, so I just I just had to play through it. But Donald's great for that, for sure.
Yeah.
So where are we going to see you next? What big tournaments?
Probably the DLC, I think, is the next one. I'd like to maybe hit something up in between now and then, but
Texas.
Yeah, maybe Texas. That would be cool.
Maybe we will see you at the WCC 5Ks again.
Yeah. Oh, I love coming to those, man. That's where I was discovered, right? That was the one that I lost to Sky in the finals with. That was my first ever larger than a set champs Lorcana tournament. So
gotcha. Yeah. Well done there.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd only been playing for a little bit, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, see, your camera looks amazing right now. Why does it not look like this when you're playing the game?
I'm telling you, and it's not that's why I think it's not the internet. I think it's either, well, it could be the internet, I guess, but it seems like the more people that stream, the crappier the resolution gets. The last couple of weeks I haven't had any issues, but I also wasn't on camera either, so maybe it has something to do with that. I am going to try to turn down the camera a little bit. I think maybe that would help. So I got to get my team to help me with that a little bit.
Even put some of the funds into Discord to give us better camera quality.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. So, but yeah, we'll work on it. I'm pretty new to the ICL, so I'm there's a lot of this plain paper.
Well, you're not done yet, as I'm pretty sure you're sneaking into the top cut here. Although we're already locked, I do believe.
Yeah.
6th place going into tonight, and there is the possibility that you snag up to 5th place. I do believe the top 4 is locked no matter what, since Emperor's New Crew was 7-3 with Ink in 5th place at 5-5. So the top 4 is locked. With ETB winning again, so they're going to be 10-1. I do believe that's the best record we've had yet in any season. quite
Yeah.
impressive.
That team's good. They got a lot of good players. So.
Yeah, they're not bad for sure. Would you like to do any shout outs before we jump over back to the booth?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to shout out, first off, the Blue Steel secret Discord, the R&B Discord. That one is, those are like my guys. We chat all the time and bounce stuff off each other. It's really great. So shout out to all the Blue Steel crew and all those guys. Select few, obviously my team is great. I'm honored to play on their team. Shout out to SideQuest Games for sponsoring me for some of the events that I go to and things like that and provide me with product. And honestly, shout out to all the people that like all the love I get on X and whatnot, man. I'm so humbled by how nice people are and how cool the community is. So just a general shout out to the community in general. And one last thing I'll say too is I try to mention this in each interview I do, but man, if you guys, while you're out there, make sure you take a time to, kind of do something physically fit for the day. Get out, get your steps in, do something to keep yourself healthy. A healthy body holds a healthy mind. So that's kind of like my montage, man. You gotta eat a little healthier, whether it's eating a little healthier, drinking your water, taking a walk, going to the gym, whatever you like to do, play some basketball, pickleball, I don't know, anything, but just, kind of make sure you don't take your health for granted because, it's important.
Gonna make me do
Well
some
said.
squats after this for sure.
That's right, man. That's right, for sure. So I always like to kind of preach that message a little bit. But yeah, man, you guys are great. And shout out to you guys too, man. Your commentary is awesome. The ICL is such a cool thing. It's like league for personalities, So what a great environment to be part of. So I'm super.
Well, I'm glad you've been having fun and enjoying it, and we'll probably see you back next season as well, if not more, here in the Top Cut. But we're gonna jump over and watch the ending bit of an Ink and Lore versus Ink Inc. game. Until then, we'll see you later, and congratulations again, Beefcake.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
Bye.
And let's see what I didn't get fixed on the screen. I do believe everything's correct. Jacob's playmat really broke my brain for a little bit, but I do believe it is the right orientation and everything.
Yeah, so I think that we got Matt Hash is actually on the left because that's an Ink playmat, and Jacob's on the right because that's an Ink and Lore playmat.
Let's see here. We've got Matt Hash playing the villain and Jacob with actual villain in play. I guess they both have one villain in play. They both have a basic movie, a bunch of a hero, some allies, and then one villain just chilling.
All right, and I don't know if you see this on the mat that Matt Hash has, but there's some nice names up there. But we are seeing the Amber Amethyst versus the Dogs. Traditionally, this is a very Dogs favored matchup, but from time to time, there are exceptions. I know Attack for Two was one of Diego's losses in the Swiss rounds on his big dog run on this deck, so it is possible.
I look at the board and I'm like, oh, I like this deck. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, this isn't Snowfort. That's a Chromacon.
Snowfort, I don't want to play the deck because it really breaks my brain, the math, if you ever go into a mirror match. When it's just you and one Snowfort, it's fine. When both players have a Snowfort, man, I'm just questing. I don't want to deal with that. I'll let you deal with it.
I've been playing late at night, like with people, but also while hanging out with my friend and watching TV. Snowfort math is so hard to do while you're trying to multitask. I'll tell you what.
It is. Emerald, Chromacon, and Snowfort are probably one of the two hardest brain thinkies that we got in Lorcana. The first time Frank Carson ran into Emerald Chromacon, he was like, it broke my brain. And he's like one of the most analytical players and stuff. It's like there was too many choices and options to think about.
Yeah. Well, when you go through 6 like lines with each initial play, it kind of gets deep real quick. And the Chromacon just adds so many different variations to it.
Okay, and Hash has taken a clear control of this board. And Hades going to be bounced back. But the Dogs player at a very low amount of lore, so it's going to be a hard-fought battle, especially sending back that Hades, which is either going to continue to draw cards for the Amber Amethyst player or put characters on the bottom. All right, and then we are actually going to send the Ursula into Elanwi, leaving with Matt just a Willow and an Elsa. Oh, and look at, there's Luke's signature on Matt's playmat.
Yours
How wonderful.
too. I feel like you only brought that up so we could look at your signature. I don't even see my signature. Oh, yes, it is. Right below
yours is right below color.
Above.
Yeah.
Above, below. Hard to tell at this angle.
Yeah. Now, it was sad that I had to miss that one due to being extremely sick, but you guys had a lot of fun, and I watched the whole thing from my couch.
Hey, you still got your name on the playmat, and you didn't even have to go.
I was wondering why he kept asking for my signature on a piece of paper. I was like, "What do you got my checkbook too?" And funny, like the timing of that too, because I did get hacked today.
Oh, you know what? I just realized there is an issue. I was about to make a joke. I was to be like, and it's funny that Jacob is playing on Matt Hash's playmat.
No, these are backwards.
Yeah, they're backwards.
I recognize Matt Hash's hands anywhere.
I was just like, wait a second. Why does Matt Hash have an Ink and Lore playmat? That's not right. There we go. A little bit better representation of what's actually happening in the game.
Yeah, and now you can see your signature much better, which is what everyone wanted.
Yes.
All right, and Lady, one of the most powerful cards in the Dogs deck, bringing back the 2 characters.
Here, let's show more of my signature.
All right, get that in there. Oh, and now we got the deck and discard in play, so that is a good update.
Which deck do you think is at the advantage here? I do believe we're in Game 3. The match we were watching, they actually started early. So we have some time on the clock at some point. They might be in turns now or getting close to. And the lore count is pretty low.
Quite low. Yeah, and Chromacon just lengthens these games by a lot, but Jacob is going to have a lot more resources to deal with Matt's kind of onslaught of characters here. Matt is doing a great job of controlling the game through the Chromacon.
Yeah, sometimes Chromacon doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, bounce my stuff. What rebounce my Elsa so I can answer your stuff again. You're gonna heal my characters. Tons of fun stuff like that can be done.
And Hades says night night to Miss Lady.
It's like, would you like to bounce any of these? 2 of them, take out your next character, and 1 of them I can replay.
Interesting.
We push.
Interesting that we bounced the 4 instead of 1.
I think that is just respect for everyone's favorite kitty cat.
Mr. Cheshire Cat.
I thought you were going to be like, Lucifer?
Figaro?
Figaro. Lucifer is like Lucifer Bippity Boppity Boop is some nightmare fuel for sure.
Yeah, don't be mean to people. Yeah, Zero. I was a local of Zero Skater, and that is all he played every week.
You know, I'm just now realizing that cats are very
They're
evil
harsh in this game.
characters in Lorcana. Like they just
Yeah.
like do the meanest things.
Dogs are nice. They draw me cards. They boost my friends. They
Well, I
boost
wouldn't
each other
be
up.
saying the dogs are nice.
Yeah.
The
They're
dogs are
street and
aggressive. They
smart.
get strength. The cat, you know, he's just moving the damage dice around on the table.
Chaos. Chaos.
Exactly.
Cats. All right, and Matt inking the Horseman Strikes, epic, of course, and
Oh, but of course.
here comes Willow to get up to 7. And let's see what else is up Matt Hash's sleeve to go against Jacob, refilling the board nicely. Still has 2 cards in hand, and then we're gonna see that Elsa come back. Elsa, come back. Now what? Oh, what?
I actually
do
lost a
we
game
exert?
at Set Champs. I was doing the Tinkerbell Challenge, JDZ's Tinkerbell Challenge, and I may have been trying a little workaround. I was just shifting Tinkerbell on top of Tinkerbell, but I was playing 15 Tinkerbells in my deck, and against Chromacon, I was he was having to bounce my 6-drop Tinkerbell. So I was playing a Tinkerbell and shifting a Tinkerbell like once or twice every turn for like 5 or 6 turns and still lost because he had double Lilo with the Chromacon and like was at like 12 when I started answering his board, and he was just able to like play one card and turn and exert it that I couldn't answer each time somehow.
Dang. The Lilo is just so important with the Chromacon. But man,
yeah.
just continues to developing like a strong board and fighting back against the Chromacon. So he's showing it
you
to his
answer my
boss.
Lilo, I just return my other exerted character, and now you don't get to answer that, and I just replay it. And as long as you're not at a high enough lore to try to race me, the game is almost over at that point.
Alrighty. And so time's got to be winding down here at some point, right?
They're just playing for fun. Didn't even let us know.
And Matt is, of course, one of the co-owners of Ink Inc. Great guy. Hung out with him a lot at Gen Con. Jacob, Ink and Lore, of course, Chicago-based team right inside my hometown.
Like, so they had a sizable extension.
Oh my.
So we still have 3 minutes on the clock. So the Dogs still has a chance. So does Matt Hash here. Both decks are in an interesting spot. It does look a little bit favored for Ink and Lore.
Yeah, Matt, not in a bad spot against this Emerald Chromacon. He's been doing everything he can to just continue to take these characters out, keep a healthy board, and but Jacob has had 2 strong turns in a row with the triple character into the big tramp here. There go our Elsas. Just questing. Matt says, I'm going to win the race at this point.
It's like, I'm going to quest the 3 things, challenge 1 down. What are you going to return to my hand? I would have maybe thought about activating the Cheshire Cat there.
Yeah.
To move damage onto the big tramp and then be able to draw an extra card just in case.
El Tigre.
And we get to replay the cat. We don't need to move damage if we don't want to.
Matt put himself in a very strong position here to outrace the dog. This is very clever. And a lot of people just get blinders a lot of times and just focus so heavily on preventing my opponent from winning that they don't see that they could just put themselves in a 2-turn position to win. So you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. At a certain point, you have to flip the switch to say, I'm now the beatdown. I'm no longer the control player, and I need to just see the finish line on my clock as opposed to my opponent's.
You know, shout out to your teammate. Frank Karsten wrote an article about Who's the Beatdown. It's about an entirely different game, but the concepts literally perfectly transfer over. You play any card game for a long time competitively, there's going to be aspects that bleed into other games.
Yeah.
Be it Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Duel Masters, Pokemon, Weiss, whatever it's called, Wyvern, Revelation. I'm trying to think of the most obscure card games. I can't. Oh, Vampire Masquerade,
Palworld.
Rage. Ooh, shout out to anyone who played Rage back in the day. It had the first flip cards, like had a different card on the front and back. Oh, am I a TCG boomer? Yes, I am. As Matt here, you know, Jacob played the lady, got some stuff back, able to deploy a few more, but Matt's still looking in a pretty good position that he can force Jacob to have to challenge, and then you don't get those Chromacon triggers.
Right. Jacob's going to be able to quest a 13, but
Jacob's
Matt,
like, would you like to challenge? Would you like to challenge?
But Matt's just going to, I think it's just going to be an easy quest, play a couple more characters. If he has a Hades, I think that's going to be all she wrote.
I think it's all she wrote almost no matter what.
Yeah. But Sven, I almost don't even want to challenge with the Sven.
We can challenge and then move the damage off the Sven to finish it off if we want to. Or just challenge. Be like, what do you want to bounce? It doesn't matter.
He's got to bounce something. It's all not great to bounce either. I guess Royal Guard's probably. Cat's probably the most important, yeah.
Imagine he played a 1-drop.
Yeah. And Matt looks like he's going to surprisingly take this as Amber Amethyst into Dogs.
Well, hold on.
Historically...
How much ink do we have?
Oh, Under the Sea is a card, yes.
But I don't think we can get to it. We don't have enough to sing it. But, like, if we had bounced the Tigger and then played a Rhino like we could have... But we're only at 6. Yeah, but we can't shift Rhino in this color.
True. I did ask one time why we don't play Shift Rhino in this deck, and they're like, well, here's the thing. I hate to break it to you. It's a dual link.
We need more fun formats. Let's do a three-color deck format.
The Tri-Colored Tournament.
The Tri-Cup Tournament? I'm sure it's not copyrighted.
Hot Sauce Games, every set, they do a box tournament. So you open a full box and you build a 60-card deck and you can use 3 colors. It's quite fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's like a form of limited, but not. Like, you get enough commons and uncommons to kind of have the base to play anything, and then you lean towards whatever rares and legendaries you get. It seems fun.
Yep. Very, very fun. Then everyone gets a box too, and then they're pretty happy too. You get there's definitely enchantments being pulled, so people are excited. It's all around just like a good event. All right, go to 19.
I mean, Jacob was able to stave off it for one more turn.
Yeah, but this is actually an Under the Sea vulnerable. If he has Under the Sea, this could come back and be in Jacob's favor because he could sing and gang a bunch of lore. This is actually tighter than expected.
He's 2 lore from just being able to win with what he has. The problem is that is annoying. So that doesn't get Under the Seed.
But it draws him closer to Under the Sea.
If we lullaby into Rhino. So if we hit Lullaby, Rhino, Under the Sea, he's able to wipe Matt's entire banish his board of sorts to the bottom.
Yeah. A lot of cards for Jacob, so a lot of options. Street Smart Dog could
we're
figure
gonna dig.
Bobby is gonna dig. If he gets a Street Smart, that'll dig a lot further. But yeah, he's gonna need exactly the Della under the sea.
Out of ink of sorts, and each Bobby we play does lower the cards we have in hand. So we might not have everything needed to do that. It's crazy how close we are, but how far away we are at the same time. Like lore-wise as well, because one more character and then we can quest up to 18.
There's the Rhino.
There's the Rhino. But we're just questing. Oh, wait.
Can't quest with that Rhino, buddy.
Quest with that Rhino. I think he was like, "Oh, I win. Did I do the math wrong?" He's like, "Wait, no, this Rhino can't quest." It's so close, but so far away.
So he passes, and Matt says, "I'm gonna draw my card. I'm gonna set it down, and I'm gonna take the lore with Demona." Crazy game, actually.
With the Demona, he's just like, you did your job. You protected from Under the Sea, and I think he would have sang the Under the Sea if he had it.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Rhino, so we had one of the 3 pieces needed to do stuff there, and I don't think we've seen an Under the Sea earlier in that game from when we were watching.
There was one in the discard, but
and we'll look at the match results here. It does look like the Sunflower Illumineers did snag that third one.
Okay.
So had Lycos been able to seal the deal in that first game so close, maybe gotten that third game, they might have stolen the victory. But ETB remaining quite the force to be reckoned with here in the ICL again.
Yeah, someone's got to stop them at some point. Otherwise, they're just going to clearly be we can't even do a Mount Rushmore. It's just them on their own right now in the history of the ICL. It's a Michael Jordan story right now.
They did lose in the 6th round
to Friendly Neighborhood, I believe.
Yeah, 2nd place.
Only a Canadian can beat another Canadian.
Well, that's not entirely true because the Friendly Neighborhood has lost at least twice.
True.
But only a Canadian can beat ETB. They have protection from America.
That's true.
Quite a powerful ability when most of the players are from there. Yeah. There's a lot of Canadians though, and a couple EU players smacked in there, and this is it for the regular season.
Yeah, everybody, we made it through the regular season. That's 11 rounds over 11, like a little over 11 weeks. We had a break. Yeah. Some great Lorcana has been played. We've played Core. We've played Infinity. We've had some buzzer beaters. We've had some crazy top decks to steal a game 3. We've had some of the most exciting games you've seen on Lorcana.
And we've had a bunch of boring mirrors, but that's bound to happen.
Yeah, but with this format, we see a lot of other decks that we wouldn't normally see.
Oh yeah,
we've seen Hyper Aggro and Infinity. We've seen Ruby, Amber.
Location, and honestly, I think those people might have played them in a normal event as well.
Yeah,
but there's enough viable decks that are playable tier 1.5 at least decks that we could just see what the meta is. I mean, if we were to look through the decks played tonight, most of them were all the same types: Amber Amethyst, Amber Emerald. We did have 2 Amber Ruby decks though. We watched one of those, 1 Amber Sapphire, a handful of Amber Steel. We did actually have a mono Amethyst deck play tonight. Just Amethyst. Who needs another color? Good. Yeah, they draw cards.
I did see on one of the stats that a mono Emerald deck does have a 100% win rate and is the highest win rate deck with 1 game played.
I don't even have in my stats the ability to show monocolored decks. Like I just have each combination together, but I don't have just the singleton ones. That'll give me something to do. Then I can at least have it so you know all the amber or all the amethyst. There's so many things you can do with stats. It's really fun when you get down to it. Once you have the core numbers, you can manipulate them of sorts to show all sorts of information that is
Pivot
fun
tables.
and needed.
We love pivot tables. Shout out to pivot tables.
I don't actually like using tables. I make my own of sorts. I don't use the table function, I should say.
Tables.
A lot of people hate that, but alas, the way the table looks, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, you
But
could
if
just
we-
make it and copy paste it elsewhere and then format it how you want. I do that on occasion.
So we haven't exactly decided what we're going to do for the expedition match next week on Tuesday and or Wednesday. It is 90% to be a cube draft of sorts, and the 10%, it's like 90% to be Braden's cube and 10% to be my cube. Basically, we're going to be cube drafting.
Oh.
And
You said I was teasing him. It's true. He's
what?
gonna be quite excited. Because
Yeah.
I said, is it gonna be Braden's cube draft? And he got real excited. You're like, don't tease Braden.
Well,
It's true now?
I want to make the cube.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make a cube. The question is I'm realistic to know that there's a 90% chance that I'm not going to make the cube in time, and we're just going to use Braden's. But the cube has to be made, and then I have to find enough players to want to play and have
And
the
how
cards.
do you?
Because
Yeah,
we're going
how
to
do
be
you-
using a cube simulator that will show the draft. We'll watch the draft, and then all the people playing basically have to own the cube. So
Yeah.
then they will build their deck in paper and then play webcam games. So, it's a little, you thought owning one tournament viable deck was like a hefty thing to have to play. Wait till you have to own an entire cube to play. But if this works out well, this could be a fun thing we do a little bit more often. I wish everyone in the ICL could do it. I would love to have a cube week every 4 or 5. But until other things change, I don't think that's a possibility, unfortunately.
Yep. Makes sense.
But
Should be fun, and Braden will be very excited.
Yeah, don't tease him. You tease him too much, and it'll motivate me to make the cube in time. It looks like we streamed too late to hit up Enchanted Chatter. So we are going to jump into something maybe a little different. Do we want to watch Dia Beastie playing Roblox, or do we want to watch Final Fantasy Tactics?
Tia Beastie, I haven't seen her in a while.
She abandoned Lorcana for Roblox.
The pack tournaments, that's where we first met, and you decked me out.
I think we had chatted before.
We chatted. Yeah, because you would ask your chat, you're like, how's everybody doing? And I was like, I'm 4-0 with a garbage deck. Because I was like...
That was
and
before Red Blue was good.
Yeah, because I was playing Emerald Steel, and I was like, man, people like this deck. I cannot win with this deck. And I went on a 15-0 run with Red Blue, and I was like, I'll just play this in the tournament tomorrow.
All right, after watching 10 seconds of that Roblox, I don't want to raid that.
I don't want that to be there. Okay.
So we're going to watch Final Fantasy Tactics on FFT Battleground, which if you like betting on matches in the ICL, you can bet on little sprites beating each other up. Quite fun to do.
Got this in the mail.
Super excited for the playoffs as well. And the top 16 is on May 20th, a Wednesday. Top 8 is on May 27th, also Wednesday. The top 4 is on June 2nd. The finals are on June 9th. And DLC Indy is on June 19th. So a little over a week before the DLC, you're going to get to see the finals play out. And we're going to be having the top 16, top 8, top 4, and finals are all Infinity. And I'm going to try my darndest to get people to record each of those, so then we can go over those recordings if need be. Maybe we will watch some of the recorded matches from the last week on the next ICL. It's hard to tell. Maybe we'll just do it in the afternoon. But I think that's content people are going to want to see because it's right before the DLC. And while some of these players might be hiding their spice, they're more than welcome to play decks that are known entities. Like, everyone knows Amber Steel is good in Infinity. Like, and whether or not how good it is, that's different. And it looks like the raid auto went, so we'll see you later. Have a fantastic night. Bye-bye.
Bye.